Chapter 2792. Apart from devouring primal chaos tablets, is there no other way? Longao knew that things were going to get troublesome. If it was before, Longao wouldn't have any problems. He had so many primal chaos tablets, giving Qin Shuang one wouldn't be a problem at all. But now, the situation was different. He had already given away all the primal chaos tablets he had. As for the non-attributed primal chaos tablets, even if he was willing, Qin Shuang wouldn't be able to devour them. I can use the 9 Revolution Life-Death Mirror to protect this lady's primal spirit from being destroyed. But to recover, she still needs to devour primal chaos tablet. This was the first time he encountered such a situation. Longao had seen countless heavily injured people, but he had never seen such a situation. She actually used primal chaos tablets to recover. If every heavily injured person had to do this, then things would be really troublesome. Just think. In the entire vast universe, how many people could obtain primal chaos tablets? Brother Nangong, I want to ask, how many rulers are there in the immortal universe? Nangong Yin had already taken out the 9 Revolution Life-Death Mirror and placed a seal on Qin Shuang's primal spirit. This way, as long as she didn't continue to be heavily injured, her primal spirit shouldn't disappear in a short period of time. Wiping the sweat off his forehead, Nangong Yin replied, I don't know. Longao was a bit dumbfounded. Nangong Yin was an immortal emperor. His strength stood at the peak of the vast universe. How could he not know how many rulers were there in the immortal universe? He was very curious. Could it be that Nangong Yin had some hidden troubles? Nangong Yin didn't speak, but Immortal Emperor Slaughter said, Longao, Brother Nangong really doesn't know. Not to mention us, even half-step rulers don't know. As for whether the rulers know, it's still unknown. So Nangong Yin really didn't know. What was going on? Longao didn't continue hating Immortal Emperor Slaughter. He believed that with the previous incident, even if Immortal Emperor Slaughter had 10,000 guts, Immortal Emperor Slaughter wouldn't dare to continue attacking him. Brother Long, we're not being perfunctory. There should be no less than a few hundred rulers in the immortal universe. As for how many there are, no one knows. Complete shock. Even if Longao was beaten to death, he would never have imagined that there would be no less than a few hundred rulers of the starry skies in the immortal world. What kind of concept was that? Longao knew very well what it meant to have hundreds of astral rulers, or even more. But after thinking about it, he felt relieved. Back then, there were thousands of universe dominators in the vast universe, but for some reason, all of them had disappeared. Perhaps only Cloud Emperor and a few others were left. How many ruler of stars have mastered the power of primal chaos? No. Nangong Yin's words were very certain. Longao didn't have the slightest doubt. No matter what was said, grasping primal chaos force and not grasping primal chaos force were two different concepts. Based on his current strength and situation, it was obviously unrealistic for him to return to the vast starry sky from before. Primal Chaos Stone Tablet. If he wanted to obtain a Primal Chaos Tablet to save Qin Shuang, he would have to obtain the materials on the spot. However, obtaining a Primal Chaos Tablet was not an easy task. However, Longao was well aware that the situation in the cosmos of the world of immortals was similar to the one he was in. As long as he was lucky, he would definitely be able to find a Primal Chaos Tablet. He seemed to be able to guess Longao's thoughts. Nangong Yin wanted to speak, but stopped. Brother Nangong, if you have something to say, why don't you speak frankly? Brother Long, I received news about a Primal Chaos Tablet a few days ago. If you hadn't come today, I'm afraid you wouldn't have been able to see me tomorrow. A Primal Chaos Tablet has appeared in the cosmos of the world of immortals? He was overjoyed. Longao was currently fretting over what to do to obtain a Primal Chaos Tablet in the shortest time possible. Although Qin Shuang's primordial spirit could be temporarily preserved thanks to the 9 Revolutions life-death mirror, this wasn't the way to go. A few days ago, I secretly received news that a primal chaos tablet's presence had appeared in the Grand Orient Mountain. However, many astral rulers, half-step astral rulers, immortal emperors, and immortal emperors have all rushed there. At this point, Nangong Yin didn't continue speaking. However, both Longao and Immortal Emperor Slaughter were very clear about the dangers involved. Let's head to the Grand Orient Mountain immediately. Without even thinking, Longao had already decided to head to the Grand Orient Mountain. This was an opportunity for him. Immortal Emperor Slaughter nodded without hesitation, indicating his agreement to head to the Grand Orient Mountain. In fact, both of them were well aware of the significance of a primal chaos tablet's presence in the Grand Orient Mountain. Countless experts were rushing there, and if they were unlucky, not only would they not obtain a primal chaos tablet, they might even lose their lives. The reason Longao was heading to the Grand Orient Mountain was to save Qin Shuang. After all, Nangong Yin had already said that Qin Shuang had no other choice but to devour a primal chaos tablet and rely on it to recover. As for Immortal Emperor Slaughter, he hoped to devour a primal chaos tablet and become an astral ruler. The two of you, why don't the 3 of us head to the Grand Orient Mountain together? Why don't we form an alliance? After we enter the Grand Orient Mountain, if we can successfully obtain a primal chaos tablet, we'll give it to the Fated One. What do you think? If it was any other time, Longao would definitely agree, but now, Brother Nangong, I'm planning to head to the Grand Orient Mountain alone. No matter if it was Immortal Emperor Slaughter or Immortal Emperor Yongxing, how could they not know what Longao meant? Tan Zhang was very unhappy in his heart, but because of Longao's terrifying strength, he dared not speak out. As for Nangong Yin, he didn't care at all. He smiled and said, "If that's the case, I won't force you." He left as soon as he said so. Looking at Longao's figure disappearing quickly, Tan Zhang said angrily, "Brother Nangong, other than being able to shatter the starry sky, what else can this person do? He actually didn't come with us. I want to see if he can leave the Eastern Imperial Mountain alive." Nangong Yin said, "Longao isn't simple. Shattering the starry sky is something even an astral ruler can't do. If we can obtain this ability, we'll be invincible even in the same realm. We'll snatch it? Don't act rashly. I just said that Longao isn't simple. Let's head to the Grand Orient Mountain first. This time I must succeed. It seems like fate is treating me well." Nangong Yin smiled, but Tan Zhang was very curious. He didn't know what Nangong Yin wanted to do. Chapter 2793. Dongwang Mountain. Dongwang Mountain was located in the Dongwang Plain. There was no one in the entire plain, and it was one of the absolute forbidden lands in the immortal world. No matter who stepped into the Dongwang Mountain, there was no return. Even half-step starry sky rulers didn't dare to step into the Dongwang Plain. As for what was in the Dongwang Plain, no one knew. Normally, there wouldn't be anyone around the Dongwang Plain. But now, except for the starry sky rulers, no one dared to step into the Dongwang Plain, including half-step starry sky rulers. The primal chaos stone tablet was very tempting, but they couldn't lose their lives for it. Longao had also arrived at the Dongwang Plain. Looking at the densely packed crowd, he felt helpless. It seemed like the primal chaos stone tablet was very tempting. The weakest people here were immortal emperors. There were a lot of immortal emperors and hundreds of half-step starry sky rulers. Immortal world starry sky. Whether it was half-step starry sky rulers or starry sky rulers, there were hundreds of them. If it was in the vast starry sky, it would be unimaginable. Longao didn't care about the dangers of the Dongwang Mountain. As long as he could get the primal chaos stone tablet and save Qin Shuang, it would be enough. Without even thinking, He took a step forward and rushed towards the Donghuang Plain. That person is only an immortal emperor. How dare he step into the Donghuang Plain? He doesn't know the difference between life and death. Seeing a figure enter the Donghuang Plain, there were exclamations. After all, the Donghuang Plain was a forbidden land in the immortal world's starry sky. It was an absolute forbidden land. Except for the starry sky rulers, no one dared to step into it. A puny immortal emperor and a half-step starry sky ruler didn't even make a move. With regards to Longao risking his life to step into the East Emperor Plain, everyone knew clearly in their hearts. As Longao entered, people started to follow him into the Donghuang Plain. Although they didn't want to face death, the temptation of the primal chaos stone tablet was absolute. It was incomparable. Otherwise, these people wouldn't have come here. With the first, there would be a second and a third. In just a few minutes, half of the people were already pouring into the East Emperor realm. How could the remaining people continue to sit around and wait for death? If they didn't enter now and waited for others to obtain the primal chaos tablet, then even if they could enter, it would be too late. Thinking of this, the remaining people did not hesitate and immediately got up to enter the East Emperor realm. The East Emperor realm was boundless. No matter who it was, even if it was Longao, they couldn't use their primordial spirit to cover the entire dimension. From this, it could be seen how strange the East Emperor dimension was. Under normal circumstances, in a plane, even if it was a high-level plane, an immortal emperor could use his primordial spirit to cover the entire plane. But now? It was strange. This phenomenon was not only noticed by Longao, but also by others. Brother Nangong, look, Longao is over there. Nangong Yin and Tanzhong arrived together. As soon as they entered the East Imperial Plain, they noticed Longao in the distance. Now that Nangong Yin had successfully broken through to the immortal emperor realm, unless it was a half-step starry sky ruler, no one could defeat them. Let's not alert him first. I have a feeling that as long as we follow Longao, we will be able to find the primal chaos tablet. Hearing Nangong Yin's words, Immortal Emperor Slaughter was very surprised. Although Longao was strong, the primal chaos tablet was an ethereal thing. However, Immortal Emperor Slaughter believed in Nangong Yin's words and did not say anything. The two followed Longao from afar and kept arguing until they reached the East Emperor Mountain. The East Emperor Mountain was located on the east side of the East Emperor realm. The entire mountain peak pierced the 9 heavens. Longao had just arrived at the Eastern Imperial Mountain and was about to enter the Eastern Imperial Mountain to check his luck. At this moment, miserable cries continuously sounded out from the Eastern Imperial Mountain in front of him, spreading throughout the entire world. It was especially ear-piercing. Hearing the screams, everyone who was about to enter the East Emperor Mountain stopped. The primal chaos tablet was important, but compared to their lives, it was not enough. There was a lot of discussion in the surroundings. No one knew what was going on at the East Emperor Mountain. However, someone soon discovered that there were countless figures coming out of the East Emperor Mountain. At a glance, there were at least a few hundred people. Among the several hundred people, each of them released a powerful aura. At a glance, even Longao was a little shocked because he could clearly sense that almost all of the people coming out of the East Emperor Mountain were starry sky rulers. What kind of concept was this? At first, Longao did not believe it. After all, several hundred starry sky rulers were not a joke. However, now that he saw it with his own eyes, Longao finally understood what it was like to have several hundred starry sky rulers appear at the same time. If the immortal world's starry sky was connected to the vast starry sky where he was before, there was no doubt that the immortal world's starry sky could rule over his vast starry sky. After all, the two starry skies were not on the same level. What was going on at the East Emperor Mountain? Why did several hundred starry sky rulers come out at the same time? It seemed that the East Emperor Mountain was not simple. However, Longao was not surprised at all. Since the primal chaos tablet appeared at the East Emperor Mountain, it was clear that the East Emperor Mountain was not simple. What is that person doing? The moment the several hundred starry sky rulers came out, a figure rushed into the East Emperor Mountain at the fastest speed. He did not care about the danger. Not to mention the others, even the several hundred starry sky rulers were shocked. They did not know if this person's brain had been damaged. The person who rushed in was none other than Longao. If it was any other time, Longao might be a little afraid. After all, even the starry sky rulers had to leave the East Emperor Mountain. It was almost certain that the East Emperor Mountain was not simple. However, the situation was different now. Longao was very clear about Qin Shuangshuang's situation. Even with the 9 revolution life and death mirror sealing her primordial spirit, Qin Shuangshuang's primordial spirit would not disappear for the time being. However, this was not the way to go. He had to get the primal chaos tablet. It was almost impossible to kill a starry sky ruler and take the primal chaos tablet by force. The only way was to enter the East Emperor Mountain. If he missed this opportunity, who knew how long it would take for the next one? Thinking of this, Longao did not hesitate to enter the East Emperor Mountain. He did not care if there was a mountain of knives or a sea of fire in front of him. P.S. The 7th chapter has been delivered. I stayed up late last night and woke up late in the morning. The remaining 3 chapters will be delivered in the afternoon and evening. Chapter 2794. As soon as he stepped into the Dongwang Mountain, Longao had a bad feeling. He was surrounded by a white fog. Even with his strength, he couldn't see more than a few thousand meters away. What did that mean? The Dongwang Mountain was too strange, but in order to save Qin Shuangshuang, Longao didn't care. He continued to move forward step by step. He had to get the Chaos Tablet. Longao didn't dare to be careless. He moved forward carefully. With the Chaos Axe in hand, the Dongwang Mountain could force hundreds of astral dominators out. Black fog erosion. Longao finally understood why the astral dominators were forced out of the Dongwang Mountain. It turned out that the black fog was the main culprit. At first, nothing happened, but as he went deeper and deeper into the mountain, the black fog began to devour his flesh and soul. It was very fast. Not only that, Longao found that the black fog was very strong. Even the astral dominators couldn't resist it, let alone ordinary people. That was why the astral dominators all left the Dongwang Mountain. According to Longao's guess, only a astral dominator who had mastered the power of chaos could resist the black fog. Retreat. Longao didn't want to make unnecessary sacrifices. He immediately turned and retreated. No matter what, he had to leave the Dongwang Mountain first. But the result? Before Longao could retreat, the surrounding black fog had already begun to crazily wrap around him. In just a few seconds, Longao's figure could no longer be seen. At this moment, the black fog around Longao was like a giant cocoon. Only the black fog could be seen. Longao could no longer be seen. Outside the Dongwang Mountain, hundreds of astral dominators had witnessed the horror of the black fog's erosion. If they were forcefully eroded by the black fog and didn't retreat early, the consequences would be unimaginable. With the lesson learned, no astral dominator dared to casually step into the Dongwang Mountain. They were very anxious. They knew there were astral dominators in the Dongwang Mountain, but they didn't dare to step in. The astral ruler didn't dare to enter the Grand Orient Mountain, but that didn't mean that others wouldn't. The temptation of the Chaos Stone Tablet was absolutely irresistible. Even though they knew that the Dongwang Mountain was dangerous, many of the space rulers would not have come out. Even so, there were still people who did not fear death and directly stepped into the Dongwang Mountain. Very soon, screams could be heard from the Dongwang Mountain. In less than a few minutes, the people who had entered had already stopped screaming. What did this mean? Everyone knew that everyone who had entered the Dongwang Mountain was dead. It seemed that the Starry Sky ruler was strong enough to leave the Dongwang Mountain. The Dongwang Mountain intimidated everyone. Among the crowd, "Brother Nangong, what should we do now?" Immortal Emperor Slaughter also wanted to enter the Eastern Royal Mountain. After all, the primal Chaos Stone tablet that he dreamed of obtaining was there. However, the screams from before still echoed in his ears. He wanted to, but he didn't have the courage. How could Nangong not understand Immortal Emperor Slaughter's intentions? He stared at the Eastern Royal Mountain with a solemn expression and didn't answer Immortal Emperor Slaughter's question. He was very curious. For some reason, Immortal Emperor Slaughter felt that something was wrong with Nangong. Ever since Longao stepped into the Immortal Plane, he had been like this. Especially after coming to the Dongwang Mountain, he had become even stranger. What was going on? No matter how much he thought about it, he could not figure it out. However, Immortal Emperor Slaughter had a bad premonition. In the end, he forcibly suppressed it. He and Nangong had been friends for many years. How could Nangong harm him? It seemed that he was overthinking. Nangong Yin's expression became more and more solemn. In the next second, when no one dared to move, Nangong Yin's body suddenly flew towards the Dongwang Mountain and disappeared without a trace. Not to mention the others, just Immortal Emperor Slaughter was completely stunned. He had felt that something was wrong with Nangong. It turned out that he wanted to enter the Dongwang Mountain. However, the situation of the Dongwang Mountain was very obvious. Anyone who entered would die, except for the Starry Sky ruler. As for whether half-step Starry Sky rulers could survive, it was still unknown because no half-step Starry Sky ruler had ever entered the Dongwang Mountain. What was going on with Nangong? As a friend, Tanzhong was very worried about Nangong Yin's safety. However, in the end, he endured it. He was very clear about his own strength. Even Immortal Emperor had died in the Dongwang Mountain, let alone him. If he forced his way into the Dongwang Mountain, only death would await him. In the face of life and death, even Immortal Emperor Slaughter was afraid. Nangong Yin's speed was very fast. It seemed that he knew the situation of the Dongwang Mountain. A mirror appeared in his hand. It was the legendary 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror. Nangong looked at the surrounding black fog and said to himself, "After waiting for so many years, I finally got it. This time I must succeed." The surrounding black fog did not show any mercy and immediately began to corrode Nangong. Under normal circumstances, even if Nangong Yin's cultivation had smoothly broken through to Immortal Emperor, he would still not be able to resist the corrosion of the black fog. After all, dozens of Immortal Emperors had just died here. However, Nangong was not worried at all. Instead, he held the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror in his hand with a face full of expectation. The 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror released 2 kinds of black and white light, which directly formed a black and white forbidden area around Nangong Yin's body. The surrounding black fog could not approach at all. Nangong was overjoyed. Before entering, even Nangong did not have full confidence that he could resist the corrosion of the black fog with the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror in his hand. However, his guess was right. Looking at the surrounding black fog being blocked by the black and white light, Nangong became extremely excited. Without the slightest hesitation, Nangong took advantage of this opportunity and immediately quickened his pace. However, before he could take more than a few steps, he stopped and stared at the black fog cocoon in front of him, not knowing what it was. He was very curious. Nangong did not know what the black fog cocoon in front of him was. Although he had the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror in his hand, he still did not dare to touch the black fog cocoon. Who knew what it was? Nangong did not slow down and directly went around the black fog cocoon. Just as Nangong took a few steps away, the black fog cocoon began to crazily absorb the surrounding black fog. The absorption speed was very terrifying. Nangong-in suddenly turned around and looked at the black fog cocoon in front of him in shock. What was going on? Why would the black fog cocoon suddenly absorb the surrounding black fog? Nangong-in continuously retreated. However, he discovered that the black fog cocoon did not continue to corrode the surrounding black fog. Chapter 2795. Dongwang Mountain. The black fog around the entire Dongwang Mountain was being devoured by the black fog cocoon at a faster and faster speed. Everyone had already sensed it, but no one dared to casually step into the Dongwang Mountain. This was because no one knew what was going on inside the mountain. Inside the black fog cocoon, Longao also didn't know what had happened. He didn't know why he was wrapped up in the black fog. He couldn't even move an inch. He was very worried, but things had already come to this point and he couldn't do anything about it. What's going on? Longao found that he was trapped in the black fog cocoon and was constantly devouring the black fog outside. The black fog was all pouring into his body. One should know. When he was outside, Longao personally experienced the horror of the black fog. Even he was eroded by the black fog. Even the starry sky dominator couldn't resist the black fog's erosion. Such a terrifying black fog was pouring into his body. He didn't know what would happen. He couldn't move an inch. Even if he wanted to get rid of the black fog in his body, he couldn't. What should he do? At this moment, Longao was completely helpless. He didn't know what to do at all. But gradually, he found that things weren't that bad. If the black fog eroded his body, it would only take a few minutes. But the result? Countless black fog poured into Longao's body and began to flow all over his body. But the black fog didn't linger and began to pour into his dantian. His cultivation base improved again, from Starry Sky Immortal Realm to Peak Starry Sky Immortal Realm. In other words, Longao had successfully recovered his peak strength. And it was all thanks to the black fog. If it wasn't for the black fog, who knew how long it would take to recover to Peak Starry Sky Immortal Realm? What was the black fog doing? Longao was very surprised because the black fog that poured into his body all entered his dantian and began to rotate. He didn't know what it was doing. The black fog didn't stay in his dantian for long. It began to leave his dantian and poured into the 9-colored lotus primordial spirit. Completely shocked. But Longao wasn't too worried. Longao was very confident in his 9-colored lotus primordial spirit. The immortal primordial spirit wasn't just for show. Even if the black fog wanted to erode the 9-colored lotus primordial spirit, it was impossible. But the next scene completely shocked Longao. Because the black fog began to merge with the 9-colored lotus primordial spirit. Even if he wanted to stop it, it was impossible. He could only watch the two merge. Whether it was good or bad, he still didn't know. Time passed quickly. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. In a short span of 10 days, all of the black mist in the entire eastern Imperial Mountain had disappeared. All of it had been sucked into the black mist cocoon. Strictly speaking, it had been sucked into Longao's body and fused with the 9-colored lotus primordial spirit. If others knew, what would others think if they knew it? From the beginning to the end, Nangong-in didn't even take half a step away. He firmly stared at the black fog cocoon as if he had already guessed something. He coldly muttered to himself, I didn't expect you to be one step faster than me. However, the final victor will still be me. Crack, crack, crack. Just then, the black fog cocoon began to crack. Soon, the entire black fog cocoon fell to the ground and disappeared without a trace. Stretching his back, Longao couldn't help but feel elated. He hadn't expected that after his 9-colored lotus primordial spirit fused with the black fog, not only would it not be affected, it would even grow stronger. Primordial spirit attacks, let alone martial artists of the same level, even a half-step Starry Sky ruler would have their primordial spirits destroyed easily. Not only that, Longao even had a feeling that even a starry sky ruler wouldn't dare to take his primordial spirit attacks head-on. Otherwise, he could definitely injure the starry sky ruler severely. Even though it was a little ridiculous, Longao was certain of it. He trusted his intuition. But even now, he still didn't know what the black fog was. Why would it want to merge with his primordial spirit for no reason? If he couldn't figure it out, then he wouldn't think about it. Longao knew that some things would naturally be solved when the time came. There was no point in dwelling on it. It was just a waste of time. Brother Nangong, you're here as well? Longao was almost certain that other than himself, no one else would dare to take a single step into the East Imperial Mountain. Other than the Starry Sky rulers being forced out, everyone who had entered the East Imperial Mountain was dead. No matter how tempting the Chaos Stone Tablet was, no one would be willing to risk their lives for it. That was the reason why Longao was so curious. No one else dared to casually step into the East Imperial Mountain. Only Nangong Yin dared to do so, and he was even standing before him unscathed. This was the first time that Longao realized that Nangong Yin wasn't as simple as he had thought. He gave off an unfathomable feeling. This was also the reason why Longao was wary of Nangong Yin. Even though Nangong Yin had once used the 9 revolving life and death mirror to protect Qin Shuang's primordial spirit, Longao knew clearly in his heart that whether he was a friend or foe was still unknown. One had to be wary of others. Brother Long, congratulations. I was also lucky enough to avoid the corrosion of the black mist. If my guess is correct, Brother Long has already devoured the black mist. Longao became increasingly wary. Although Nangong Yin spoke casually, Longao knew exactly what the black mist's corrosion meant. The slightest carelessness could lead to eternal damnation. Moreover, Nangong Yin knew that he had devoured the black mist. He was too mysterious. Longao didn't show the slightest difference on the surface. He said helplessly, "Not being corroded by the black mist is already a great fortune. Brother Nangong, do you know the secret of the East Imperial Mountain?" Longao was only guessing. As for whether Nangong Yin knew or not, he didn't dare to be certain. However, Longao had always believed in his intuition. Nangong Yin gave him the same feeling as Qin Shuang. It was as if he had known Nangong Yin for a very long time. This kind of intuition was too strange. Could it be that he was really a reincarnation? I know a thing or two. Without waiting for Longao to speak, Nangong Yin continued, the Eastern Imperial Mountain does indeed have a primal chaos stone tablet. Moreover, it is not just one primal chaos stone tablet. However, Longao, I would like to make a deal with you. Tell me, if you and I join hands, the primal chaos stone tablets of the East Imperial Mountain will all belong to you. However, there is one thing that must belong to me. How about it? What is it? Longao was completely shocked. In Longao's opinion, the primal chaos stone tablets were the most important things. There was simply nothing that could be compared to the primal chaos stone tablet. P.S. I was delayed by some matters. The 9th chapter has been delivered. As for the last chapter, Little 9 will rest for a moment before continuing to write it. I will deliver it later. Please add Little 9's public account. Longao 009. Thank you. Chapter 2796. What exactly was it? No matter how he thought about it, Longao couldn't think of anything in the vast cosmos that could compare to or even surpass the Chaos Stone steels. Longao's intuition told him that the item Nangong Yin wanted was definitely not simple. He still couldn't figure it out. He was actually willing to give up all the Chaos Stone steels. Brother Long, forgive me for not being able to tell you the truth. As if afraid that Longao wouldn't agree, Nangong Yin continued, the item I want is extremely important to me, more important than anything else. However, it's worthless to you. Deal. No matter what this thing was, in the current situation, Longao only knew one thing, and that was that the primal Chaos Stone tablet was simply too important to him. Not to mention multiple Chaos Stone steals, even if it was just a single one, Longao wouldn't hesitate in the slightest. As for the other matter, Longao was almost certain that Nangong-in had chosen to give up on the Chaos Stone steals. If nothing unexpected happened, Nangong-in definitely had a Chaos Stone steal himself. There was no doubt about this. He was deeply hidden. Perhaps apart from himself, there were very few people in the cosmos who knew that Nangong-in had a Chaos Stone steal. Since that's the case, let's quickly get what we need. Alright? The Donghuang Mountain was boundless. Even Long-Ao's primordial spirit couldn't cover the entire mountain. After Long-Ao devoured all the black mist, the people outside could now enter the Donghuang Mountain. However, after a full hour, people began to continuously enter the Donghuang Mountain from the outside. While searching for the Chaos Stone steals and the item Nangong-in wanted, Long-Ao didn't know if he was deliberately asking or just asking casually. "Brother Nangong, forgive me for asking, but do you know me from before?" Although it felt a bit ridiculous, Long-Ao didn't know why, but he had this feeling that Nangong-in seemed to know him. It wasn't that strong before. However, after entering the Donghuang Mountain, Long-Ao discovered that this feeling was growing stronger. Nangong-in smiled and said, "I do." They really did know each other. It seemed like his guess was correct. Not only was Nangong-in a reincarnated body, even he himself was a reincarnated body. "Not only do we know each other," Nangong-in didn't continue and only smiled. His smile was very strange. "Brother Nangong, if you have something to say, just say it." "Brother Long, I want to ask you, will we become enemies in the future?" This question was really hard to answer, because even Long-Ao wasn't sure if he and Nangong-in would be enemies or friends in the future. "Will we be friends in the future?" "Ha ha ha, friend or foe, how many people can say for sure?" Nangong-in did not directly answer Long-Ao's question, but the more he did so, the more Long-Ao feared Nangong-in. "Brother Long, this is fate. I wonder if I'll be able to succeed this time." What did that mean? "Let's go." Nangong-in clearly didn't want to say more. Long-Ao also didn't ask because he knew that even if he asked, it would be useless. If Nangong-in wanted to say something, there was no need for him to ask. Nangong-in would say it anyway. The two tried to avoid the crowd as much as possible. After all, they were eternal immortal emperors, the so-called peak starry sky immortals. If they encountered a starry sky ruler, things would be very troublesome. Eternal immortal emperor? Nangong-yin's face instantly became gloomy when he saw the three approaching from the left. "Humph." Nangong-yin only snorted coldly and didn't say anything. However, Long-Ao only needed a glance to know that there was enmity between the two sides. "Nangong-yin, back then, we wanted to borrow your 9-revolution life-death mirror to save our brother, but you didn't agree. Isn't it time for us to settle this debt today?" The three used to be immortal emperors. They were originally 4 brothers, but one of them had fallen. If Nangong-yin had used the 9-revolution life-death mirror to save him, it would have been a different story. Although the 3 of them were immortal emperors at that time, they weren't Nangong-yin's match even if they joined forces. In desperation, the 3 of them immediately wandered the starry sky of the immortal world, hoping to find a secret domain or a primal chaos tablet. Once they became half-step starry sky rulers or starry sky rulers, they could easily take revenge and kill Nangong-yin. One couldn't help but admit that. The 3 of them were really lucky. Several decades ago, they finally found a secret domain and successfully refined it to become half-step starry sky rulers. A few months ago, they took revenge and were about to go to Eternal Immortal Plane to kill Eternal Immortal Emperor when they suddenly heard news about the Eastern Imperial Mountain and immediately rushed over. In their opinion, they were already strong enough to kill Eternal Immortal Emperor, so it didn't make any difference whether they went early or late. Moreover, finding a primal chaos tablet was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it didn't happen all the time. However, the three of them didn't expect to encounter immortal Emperor Yong Sheng on their trip to the Donghuang Mountain. If that was the case, they could kill immortal Emperor Yongsheng while they were searching for the Chaos Tablet. This would save them a trip to the Eternity Realm. Nangong Yin, you caused my brother's death. Today, I'll send you down to accompany him. Nangong Yin sneered and said in an extremely cold voice, pestering endlessly. In that case, I don't need to be polite. Don't think that you three can show off in front of me just because you've become half-step Starry Sky rulers. Secret domains are just Starry Sky divine tools. Half-step Starry Sky rulers are really laughable. Longao did not say anything. His instincts told him that this Nangong Yin was definitely not as simple as he looked. For example, even though he was only a peak Starry Sky immortal, his strength was far above that of a half-step Starry Sky ruler. In other words, it wouldn't be hard for him to kill a half-step Starry Sky ruler right now. Could Nangong Yin be the same as him? Ha 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 ha. The three of them laughed out maniacally. They had seen arrogant people before, but not to this extent. Of course, the three of them could sense that even though Eternal Immortal Emperor had become Eternal Immortal Emperor, the difference between an Eternal Immortal Emperor and a half-step Starry Sky ruler was huge. The two of them weren't even on the same level. The three of them could not figure out what gave Eternal Immortal Emperor such courage and confidence that he would dare to challenge the three of them in public. Nangong Yin, I'll let you know today just how big the difference is between a half-step Starry Sky ruler and an Eternal Immortal Emperor. I'll also let you know that even if you become a half-step Starry Sky ruler, it's nothing. Author's note. Chapter 10 has been delivered. Wash your face and sleep. Everyone can add Little Nine's public account. Longao 009. In the future, if there are any explosive updates, update times, and everyone's private messages will all be there. Chapter 2797. Nangong Yin didn't show the slightest fear. Even if he was facing three half-step Starry Sky rulers. The three Li brothers didn't put Eternal Life Immortal Emperor in their eyes. What a joke. A puny Eternal Immortal Emperor wanted to fight against half-step Starry Sky rulers? It was simply a fool's dream. Not to mention the three of them working together, even any one of them could easily deal with the other party. Lin Clan's third brother's eyes turned red. The humiliation Eternal Life Immortal Emperor gave them was still vivid in his mind. He had waited for so many years for this day. Die. Li Clan's third brother used his secret realm and launched his most crazy attack. Longao didn't attack. He also wanted to see Nangong Yin's true strength. Nangong Yin was definitely not simple. Sure enough, the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror suddenly appeared in Nangong Yin's hand. He snorted coldly. Arrogant fool. Nangong Yin snorted, and the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror in his hand began to release black and white light. A shocking scene occurred. Li Clan's third brother's attack disappeared without a trace as soon as it touched the black and white light. It was like an egg hitting a rock, unable to withstand a single blow. What's going on? Everyone looked at the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror in Nangong Yin's hand and was completely dumbfounded. Such a Starry Sky divine artifact was too terrifying. Everyone knew that Eternal Life Immortal Emperor's 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror could reverse life and death, but they didn't expect this Starry Sky divine artifact to be so powerful. No wonder Nangong Yin was so confident. He wasn't afraid of facing a half-step Starry Sky ruler. It would be a lie if the 3 Li brothers said they weren't tempted by such a powerful Starry Sky divine artifact. Their eyes revealed extreme greed. They couldn't wait to kill Nangong Yin and take away the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror. What a powerful Starry Sky divine artifact. It was even comparable to his Chaos Axe and Chaos Palace. Longao was almost certain that the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror in Nangong Yin's hand wasn't a Starry Sky Divine artifact, but a so-called Chaos Divine artifact. A very powerful one at that. Ha ha ha, I said, you're arrogant fool. You're really frogs in a well. Today, I'll let you know that you can't become invincible just by devouring secret realms. After saying that, with the 9 Revolutions Life and Death Mirror in hand, Nangong Yin was already fighting against the Li family's third brother. It was almost impossible. It was already impressive enough that the immortal emperor didn't flee when facing a half-step Starry Sky ruler, let alone take the initiative to attack. It meant that the impossible had now become possible. Big brother. Let's wait and see. Li family's eldest brother and Li family's second brother still didn't want to help. After all, if the 3 of them joined forces, even if they won, it would be a bit embarrassing. The most important point: both the first and second didn't believe that eternal immortal emperor could beat their third brother. It was a bit ridiculous, but what was the result? It was a nonsensical thing, but it really happened. Impossible, this is impossible. Li family's third brother roared in shock, glaring at Eternal Life Immortal Emperor. He had thought that it would be easy for him to kill Eternal Life Immortal Emperor with his half-step Starry Sky ruler strength. But now, it seemed like he didn't even know if he could escape unscathed, let alone kill his opponent. Eternal Immortal Emperor's strength was too terrifying. Li family's third brother couldn't figure out why Eternal Life Immortal Emperor's strength could rival a half-step Starry Sky ruler, and even surpass it. What was the reason? He couldn't figure it out. He really couldn't figure it out. Nangong Yin seemed to be very impatient. His speed increased by a notch, and before Li family's third brother could react, he had already arrived behind him. Third brother, be careful. It's too late. Nangong Yin sneered, and the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror in his hand slashed towards Li family's third brother. Li family's third brother let out an earth-shattering roar, but it was too late to turn around. Li family's third brother was struck by the 9 Revolution Life and Death Mirror, and his body didn't fly out as expected. His primordial spirit was directly devoured, and Li family's third brother's body slowly fell down. This scene happened so fast that even Li family's eldest brother and second brother didn't have time to save him. You killed third brother, compensate. Before Li family's second brother could finish speaking, a mystic realm appeared in Nangong Yin's hand. It was the mystic realm inside the body of Li family's third brother, who had just been killed. It was precisely because he devoured and refined this mystic realm that Li family's third brother could smoothly advance to half-step Starry Sky ruler. Everyone thought that Nangong Yin would devour and refine the mystic realm after obtaining it, but a shocking scene appeared once again. Nangong Yin didn't even think about devouring the mystic realm in his hand. Instead, he looked coldly at the 2 people in front of him, and directly destroyed the mystic realm in his hand. Destroying a mystic realm? What kind of strength was this? Not to mention the 2 Li family's third brother, even Longao was a little dumbfounded. This was because he knew very well that even an ordinary Starry Sky ruler couldn't do this, unless it was a Starry Sky ruler who had mastered the primal chaos force. However, he had never seen it with his own eyes, so he didn't know whether it was possible. However, Nangong Yin could destroy a mystic realm so easily, which was a little unbelievable. Could it be that Nangong Yin's strength had surpassed an ordinary Starry Sky ruler, and was comparable to Cloud Emperor? Impossible. Longao was almost certain that although Nangong Yin had devoured the primal chaos stone tablet, he still hadn't refined it, let alone mastered the primal chaos force. Nangong Yin was too mysterious. Seeing Nangong Yin destroy a mystic realm in an instant, both the Li family's first brother and second brother were thoroughly frightened. They retreated again and again, unable to say a word. They had seen ferocious people before, but they had never seen such ferocious people. Nangong Yin's strength had exceeded their scope of understanding. His previous arrogance had long disappeared, and even the revenge for their third brother had been thrown out of the sky. Leave, the two only thought in their minds was to leave this place as soon as possible. If possible, they didn't want to meet eternal immortal emperor in their lifetime. This kind of strength was a little unimaginable. Unless they could devour the primal chaos stone tablet and become a starry sky ruler, even if the two of them joined forces, they wouldn't be Nangong Yin's opponent. Go! Li Family's first brother roared. He didn't want to stay and wait for death. As soon as he finished speaking, he turned around and left in a hurry. It was a completely different person from his previous arrogance. Li Family's second brother naturally wouldn't stay. He turned around and ran with his first brother. Chapter 2798. They rolled and crawled. At this moment, the two of them were no longer lofty half-step starry sky rulers, but two frightened people who wanted to flee for their lives. Coming and going as you please, it's too easy. Hearing the voice behind them, the two didn't hesitate and rushed out. But what was the result? Nangong Yin obviously didn't want to give up and chased after them. In just a few seconds, two miserable screams rang out. Hearing the two screams, Longao realized that the two half-step starry sky rulers were finished. After killing the two, Nangong Yin didn't devour the secret realms. Instead, he destroyed them. With such strength, he could be called the #1 expert under starry sky rulers. Longao knew very well that even if he used the primal chaos axe, he wouldn't be Nangong Yin's opponent. Such strength was infinitely close to starry sky rulers. It was too terrifying. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, even Longao wouldn't believe that someone could do it. Nangong Yin, you really hid your strength. You killed 3 half-step starry sky rulers so easily. You're the #1 expert under starry sky rulers. Nangong Yin smiled indifferently. Brother Long, you don't have to belittle yourself. With your strength, killing half-step starry sky rulers should be easier than killing me. The real #1 expert under starry sky rulers should be you, not me. He didn't even make a move, but Nangong Yin knew his strength. Longao found that Nangong Yin seemed to be able to see through everything about him. Who was Nangong Yin? Seeing Longao not speaking, Nangong Yin smiled and said, Brother Long, let's go. Seeing that Nangong Yin didn't want to say anything, Longao just smiled and followed Nangong Yin. Many people had heard the battle here, but no one dared to come over. With the aura of half-step starry sky rulers, unless it was starry sky rulers, even half-step starry sky rulers wouldn't want to find trouble. It was a complete joke. Provoking a half-step starry sky ruler under such circumstances, unless one had nothing better to do. Longao and Nangong Yin tried to avoid the starry sky ruler as much as possible. After all, both of them were well aware of their respective strength. Even if they could kill a half-step starry sky ruler, they had no way of contending against a starry sky ruler. Brother Nangong, where is the thing you're looking for? Gradually, Longao began to realize that Nangong Yin seemed to be leading him around in circles. Although he felt that he might be overthinking things, he had to be extra careful in this situation. Until now, Longao didn't know whether he and Nangong Yin were friends or foes. He smiled. Nangong Yin said helplessly, the thing I'm looking for is too strange. Unless we're lucky, it'll be very hard for us to find it. From beginning to end, Nangong Yin didn't say what he was looking for. Longao didn't want to continue like this. This time, he had entered the Dongwang Mountain even at the risk of his life. He wanted to enter the Dongwang Mountain in order to successfully obtain the Chaos Tablet. You could say that. Nangong Yin could wait, but he didn't want to wait for even a second. The longer he delayed, the more disadvantageous it would be for Qin Shuang. Brother Nangong, why don't we split up and look for what we're looking for? How could Nangong Yin not understand the meaning behind Longao's words? He didn't give it any thought and nodded. That's fine, but you have to be careful. If you encounter a starry sky ruler, don't fight force with force. Longao didn't continue to hesitate and immediately turned to leave. Nangong Yin's face gradually turned gloomy as he watched his figure disappear. He coldly said, "I'll make you pay for what you couldn't do in the past." Qin Shuang humphed. If Longao heard Nangong Yin's words, who knows what he would think? The Donghuang Mountain was boundless. Even if hundreds of thousands of cultivators entered, it would be like a drop of water in the ocean. If one didn't personally enter the Donghuang Mountain, it would be hard to imagine that a mountain peak in a plain could be a completely different world. Longao didn't dare waste the slightest bit of time. To him, and strictly speaking, to Qin Shuang, time was life. Longao was extremely anxious. He didn't know why, but unknowingly, Qin Shuang's position in Longao's heart had become comparable to Yu Yin and the others. Even Longao himself didn't know how to describe it. Primal Chaos Stone Tablet. He had to find it in the shortest amount of time possible. Longao had already decided that if he couldn't find the tablet, then he wouldn't hesitate to kill the Starry Sky ruler and take the tablet by force. Even if he knew he couldn't do it, he still had to do it. Longao was well aware that he wasn't a match for the Starry Sky ruler, but for Qin Shuang, he wouldn't hesitate to put his life on the line. Normally, Longao wouldn't be so flamboyant. After all, if others found out he had the tablet, the consequences would be unthinkable. But now, Longao couldn't care less. The attributeless tablet floated in front of Longao, releasing a terrifying aura. Even if it couldn't cover the entire Donghuang Mountain, it could cover as much as it could. Everyone who was searching for the tablet suddenly felt the aura of primal chaos. They were all overjoyed and immediately rushed in Longao's direction. In a short 10 minutes, Longao was surrounded by people. What was going on? Looking at the primal chaos stone tablet floating in front of Longao, everyone could almost affirm that this person's luck was actually so good to actually be able to find a primal chaos stone tablet in such a short period of time. Not only that, many people recognized the person in front of them as the one who had fearlessly entered the Donghuang Mountain. They had never imagined that not only had he not died, but he had also successfully obtained the tablet. Without a doubt, when they saw the primal chaos stone tablet floating in front of Longao, many people swarmed over. However, none of the Starry Sky rulers moved. They all looked at Longao with solemn expressions because they couldn't understand. Since Longao had already obtained the primal chaos stone tablet, according to normal circumstances, he should have found a hidden place to refine it. But in the end, he was refining the primal chaos stone tablet here without any scruples. Was it helplessness? Or was it on purpose? If this person had done it on purpose, then why had he done it? None of the rulers of the universe had dared to act rashly. However, even though the others knew that something was amiss, they still decided to act. They wanted to obtain the Chaos Tablet and become a ruler of the universe. Chapter 2799. Longao didn't care about the people around him. Since he dared to release the primal Chaos Stone Tablet, Longao had already guessed that this would be the result. Only by relying on the neutral Chaos Stone Tablet could he sense the other chaos planes of the Eastern Imperial Mountain. For Qin Shuang, even if he had to face danger, it was worth it. As for Qin Shuang, Longao felt more and more different. It felt very special. Longao didn't care about the others, because if it were any other Chaos Stone Tablet, even if he couldn't devour it, he could touch it. At most, the tablet would leave on its own. Only he had the neutral Chaos Stone Tablet. Apart from himself, if anyone else dared to touch it, there would only be one result. They would be devoured by the tablet. This was the terrifying thing about the neutral Chaos Stone Tablet. Since they wanted to die, he definitely wouldn't stop them. As expected, it was just as Longao had thought. The reason he dared to release his countless Chaos Stone tablets was because he knew how terrifying they were. Someone finally made contact with the primal Chaos Stone tablet. However, what followed was a miserable shriek. Before this person could even react, the primal Chaos Stone tablet had already devoured him. What was going on? In a few short seconds, hundreds of people had been devoured by the tablet. At this moment, the rulers of the universe finally understood why this person didn't fear anyone else. What a terrifying Chaos Stone tablet! They had all devoured a Chaos Stone tablet, but the ones they had devoured weren't as powerful as this. Seeing so many immortal cultivators being devoured and killed in front of them, the remaining people stopped abruptly. It was still the same sentence. Although the temptation of the Chaos Stone tablet was huge, compared to their lives, it wasn't enough. They were very shocked. No one knew what was going on with the Chaos Stone tablet in front of them. However, many people had already guessed that this definitely had something to do with the youth behind it. Perhaps, if they could control the youth, they would be able to smoothly obtain the Chaos Stone tablet. Thinking of this, everyone looked towards Longao. At a glance, there were thousands of people. The rulers of the universe still didn't move. They still couldn't see through this youth. They were too shocked and couldn't understand. A mere immortal emperor was actually able to do this. If someone said that there wasn't something fishy going on, they wouldn't believe it even if they were beaten to death. Could it be that this person was not afraid at all? If that was the case, if they acted rashly, they would lose more than they gained. Of course, everyone knew what this Chaos Tablet meant. Even Star Ruler couldn't wait to get his hands on this Chaos Tablet, let alone the others. However, they had already devoured the primal Chaos Tablet. The most important thing was still safety. However, this was not the case for the others. Whoever obtained the primal Chaos Stone Tablet first would have a chance of becoming the ruler of space. The Starry Sky Dominator was the strongest expert in the vast starry sky. Once he became the Starry Sky Dominator, he would be able to get whatever he wanted. Longao originally wanted to use the attribute-less Chaos Stone Tablet to sense the other Chaos Stone Tablets, but he didn't expect that in less than 5 minutes of sensing, so many people had already gathered, and they even wanted to attack him. Longao would not be merciful because he knew very well that being merciful to the enemy was being cruel to himself. Especially at this time, he absolutely couldn't let anyone disturb him. God knew what Qin Shuang's situation was now. Time was pressing and he couldn't waste any time. Thinking of this, Longao did not hesitate any longer. Wielding the Chaos Axe in his hands, he slashed out at the people coming at him from all directions. The third axe of the Chaos 9 axes, devouring the heavens. Of the first 3 axes of the Chaos 9 axes, the first and second axes were ally attack. Only the third axe was a one-on-one attack. That was the reason why Longao used the third axe without hesitation. Devouring the heavens. Slash. 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 As Longao used the Chaos Axe, the space around him started to crack. That's right, these were cracks. Be it the vast starry sky of the immortal world or the starry sky of the immortal world, Longao could shatter the starry sky with ease. This was something that even the Starry Sky Dominators could not do. What's that? Looking at the cracks in the starry sky before them, everyone was completely dumbfounded. Everyone knew clearly in their hearts what these cracks meant. The cracks in the starry sky were the strongest force in the entire universe. There was no one who could fight against them. Just who in the world was the other party? To think that he could shatter the starry sky and create such cracks. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, no one would have believed it. It was way too horrifying. Many of the people around them had already reached their maximum speed. Even if they had caught sight of the cracks in the starry sky before them, it was clearly too late for them to stop. Many of them were swallowed up by the cracks in the starry sky. In fact, they did not even have the time to fight back before they were devoured cleanly. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of people had already been devoured by the cracks in the starry sky. Just the thought of it was enough to tell how tragic it was. Longao's cultivation state had already been restored to its limit. Endless starry sky. Not to mention the others, even if it were a half-step starry sky dominator, he could kill them with ease. As for the others, he could even kill them in a second. The hundreds of starry sky dominators were completely flabbergasted right now. They had seen strong people before, but they had never seen someone this strong. If Longao were a starry sky dominator, it would have been fine. But in the end, Longao was just a puny immortal emperor, and yet, he could kill them in a second. But that did not matter. After all, no matter how strong the immortal emperor was, he was still an ant-like existence in the face of these so-called starry sky dominators. But the thing that truly shocked them was the fact that the other party could shatter the starry sky. Looking at the masses being devoured by the cracks in the starry sky dominators were shocked as well. Even if it were them, if they were to be devoured by the cracks in the starry sky, they would not have a good ending either. Just how in the world did the other party do it? Could it be because of the axe in his hand? Many people had already guessed that the reason why the other party could shatter the starry sky was probably because of the starry sky divine weapon in his hand. If they could successfully obtain the axe, they could even kill warriors of the same level as them. Thinking of this, everyone's face was filled with greed. They could not wait to get their hands on the axe. Even the starry sky dominators were tempted by such a heaven-defying starry sky divine weapon. If the starry sky dominators could think of this, how could the others not? Because of this, Longao's shattering of the starry sky did not have a deterrent effect. Instead, it made the masses even more greedy. Not only did they want to take away the primal chaos stone tablet, but they also wanted to snatch the primal chaos axe. Chapter 2800. This time, not only the others, but even the starry sky rulers couldn't resist. What kind of joke was this? Not to mention the primal chaos steel, the starry sky divine artifact in this person's hand was too heaven-defying. No one could resist such a temptation. Hundreds of starry sky rulers attacked at the same time. Those who had just attacked stopped. No matter how tempting the primal chaos steel or the starry sky divine artifact were, it was nothing compared to their lives. Longao's expression was ugly to the extreme. He had already expected the starry sky rulers to attack, but he hadn't expected hundreds of them to attack at once. How spectacular was that? In fact, Longao had guessed completely wrong. If it were just the primal chaos steel, many of the starry sky rulers wouldn't have attacked immediately. After all, Longao was too strange. But now, the situation was completely different. Longao's starry sky divine artifact was beyond everyone's understanding. Even the starry sky rulers couldn't do such a thing. You could say that. If they had to choose between the primal chaos steel and the starry sky divine artifact, all of the starry sky rulers would choose the starry sky divine artifact without hesitation. The reason was simple. No matter which starry sky ruler it was, they had already devoured the primal chaos steel. The reason they had come this time was to obtain more primal chaos steels and create their own starry sky rulers. However, such a heaven-defying starry sky divine artifact could directly increase their own strength. It was much more useful than obtaining another primal chaos steel. No one was a fool. Of course they knew what choice to make. Longao quickly figured out the root of the matter and sighed inwardly. He had been too careless. If it had been a normal attack, the starry sky rulers wouldn't have acted rashly. But it had already happened. He didn't regret it in the slightest. You want to deal with me? Longao wasn't afraid at all. A second later, he disappeared without a trace. Even the primal chaos steel was gone. He and the primal chaos steel were gone? Looking at the empty space in front of them, the starry sky rulers who had been prepared to attack were all dumbfounded. They had no idea how the other party had done it. Everyone looked at each other. None of them knew where the other party had gone. All of the Starry Sky rulers locked onto him, but no one was able to do so. They were completely shocked. Even though he had seen it with his own eyes and experienced it for himself, he still found it hard to believe. Within the Primal Chaos Palace, Longao let out a long sigh of relief. Although he was very confident in his strength and could even kill a half-step Starry Sky ruler, it was still not enough to face a Starry Sky ruler. It was even more beautiful. There had been too many star rulers just now. Even if each of them had used one move, he would have died without a burial place. It was very depressing. Because of the matter with Qin Shuangxuang, Longao knew that he had been too anxious this time. Now that he had exposed the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet and the Primal Chaos Axe, he was afraid that as soon as he left the Primal Chaos Hall, countless people would come after him. Regardless of whether it was the non-elemental Chaos Tablet or the Chaos Axe, they were items that everyone dreamed of obtaining. Even Galaxy Ruler was no exception. If he couldn't use the attributeless Chaos Stone Tablet to sense the existence of other Chaos Stone Tablets, then it would be even more difficult to find them. What should he do? Previously, everyone had entered the Dongwang Mountain to search for the Chaos Tablet. But now, it wasn't just searching for the Chaos Tablet. Everyone had a common goal, and that was to find that person. Everyone knew that this person not only had a Primal Chaos Tablet, but also a heaven-defying Cosmic God artifact. Even the Starry Sky ruler couldn't resist the temptation of this Cosmic God artifact. One could imagine how powerful this Cosmic God artifact was. Because of this, everyone was frantically trying to lock onto the mysterious person's location. At this time, it wasn't a competition of strength, but of luck. If they were lucky, then they could lock onto the mysterious person's location. When the time came and they killed the mysterious person, then they could smoothly obtain the Chaos Stone Tablet and the Cosmic God artifact. Just thinking about it made them excited. The mysterious person had disappeared under the noses of countless Starry Sky rulers and experts. Anyone who knew about it was shocked beyond words. Soon, some people were already guessing that in addition to the Chaos Stone Tablet and the Cosmic God artifact, the mysterious person might also have a heaven-defying Cosmic God artifact. At the thought of a Cosmic God artifact, and one that even galaxy rulers couldn't sense, countless people went crazy. They were all guessing who the mysterious person was to have so many things. Every item he took out was enough to shock the entire vast starry sky. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. They thought that they could quickly lock onto the mysterious person's location, but in the end, even after 3 days, no one could successfully lock onto the mysterious person's location. Even galaxy rulers couldn't do it. The conclusion was that the divine weapon in the mysterious man's hand was too powerful. In fact, Longao had already come out, but he intentionally hid from everyone. The Dongwang Mountain was boundless. If Longao wanted to, it would be difficult for anyone to find him. However, Longao didn't dare to continue using the attributeless Chaos Stone Tablet to sense the Chaos Stone Tablet in the Dongwang Mountain. If he did that, it would be too difficult to find the Chaos Stone Tablet. Dongwang Mountain, in an extremely hidden cave. Longao looked at Qin Shuangxuang in his arms. He didn't know why, but he felt that his relationship with Qin Shuangxuang wasn't simple. It was as if they had known each other for countless years. Looking at Qin Shuangxuang in his arms, his heart ached. It even exceeded his feelings for Yin and the others. Longao was shocked. He knew very well that among all his women, the one he loved the most was Yin. After all, Yin was his first woman. However, looking at Qin Shuangxuang, Longao realized that he loved her the most. What was going on? He had only known Qin Shuangxuang for a few days. What was going on? Could it be that he and Qin Shuangxuang were reincarnated, and their relationship in their previous life wasn't simple? Other than this explanation, he couldn't think of any other reason. However, Longao did not know what the relationship between him and Qin Shuangshuang was. It seemed that it would not be easy to figure it out. Right now, there was only one thing he needed to do, and that was to do everything he could to find a primal chaos stone tablet and heal Qin Shuangshuang's injuries. It was easy to think about, but difficult to actually do. Chapter 2801. Eastern Imperial Mountain. The winds and clouds were changing. 80% of the people, in addition to continuing to search for primal chaos tablets, continued to lock onto Longao's position. It was always easier to think than to do. More and more people realized that the mysterious person was too strong. The space artifact he had was so heaven-defying that even the ruler of the universe couldn't lock onto him. Ling Qingfei had only been a ruler of the universe for a few thousand years, the shortest. The primal chaos tablet Ling Qingfei had devoured was of the fire element. While others were locking on to Longao's position, Ling Qingfei was searching for the primal chaos tablet of the Eastern Imperial Mountain. From beginning to end, Ling Qingfei hadn't attacked Longao. "You've been following me for 3 days. Shouldn't you come out and meet me?" All of a sudden, Ling Qingfei stopped, turned around, and looked coldly in front of him. However, there was no one in front of him. "I'm Longao. What's your name?" "Longao?" Ling Qingfei was very curious because he didn't know the person in front of him at all. "Ling Qingfei, why are you looking for me?" Although curious, Ling Qingfei wasn't worried at all. No matter what, he was still the ruler of the universe, and this person was just the so-called immortal emperor. "I want to search for primal chaos tablets with you. How about that?" His expression darkening, Ling Qingfei said coldly, "Why should I search for primal chaos tablets with you?" Ling Qingfei's expression darkened more and more because no one in the entire universe knew that he could find primal chaos tablets. Thousands of years ago, he'd succeeded in his first search. Although he'd paid a great price and spent more than 1,000 years, it had all been worth it. This time, Ling Qingfei was still confident that he could find them. "I need a primal chaos tablet? What does that have to do with me?" Before Longao could speak, Ling Qingfei continued coldly, "When they attacked you, I was the only one who didn't do anything. Do you think I'm easy to talk to?" Ling Qingfei shook his head. To say that a ruler of the universe was easy to talk to was a big mistake. "Brother Ling, for some reason, my wife needs a primal chaos tablet, so—" He waved his hand. Ling Qingfei did not give Longao a chance to continue. He said, "Your wife has nothing to do with me. You'd better not mess with me, or else." At this point, Ling Qingfei did not continue, but the meaning in his words was very clear. He turned around and left. "I can give you anything in exchange, except for the 2 Chaos Divine artifacts and the Chaos Stone Tablet." In the end, Ling Qingfei still stopped and sneered, "Even for me, finding a primal Chaos Tablet is definitely not an easy task. I've only found 1 primal Chaos Tablet in thousands of years. I don't have the slightest confidence that I'll be able to find one this time. Even if I can find the Chaos Stone Tablet, I will create another Starry Sky ruler. If you are willing to trade your Chaos Divine artifact for it, I might consider it." Not to mention Ling Qingfei, if Longao took out the 2 primal Chaos Tablets, any Starry Sky ruler would be willing to trade with a primal Chaos Tablet. Ling Qingfei actually knew about Chaos Divine artifact. It seemed that the Starry Sky of the Immortal Realm was not simple. If it had been in the vast universe before, not even Master God Diviner and the others would know about Chaos Divine artifact. "I want to know, how did you lock onto the Chaos Stone Tablet?" Longao was only guessing. As for whether it was true or not, he did not know. However, at this moment, Longao was almost certain that Ling Qingfei definitely had a way to lock onto the Chaos Stone Tablet. Although it would not be that easy, compared to others, Ling Qingfei had the upper hand. "Do you think I'll tell you?" Grasp the power of chaos. Ling Qingfei, who was about to leave, heard Longao's words and his expression suddenly changed. He naturally knew what it meant to grasp the power of chaos. An ordinary starry sky ruler and a starry sky ruler who had grasped the power of chaos were two completely different concepts. The two could not be compared at all. How can I believe you? In the entire starry sky of the immortal realm, there were more than 1,000 starry sky rulers who had devoured the Chaos Stone Tablet. However, it was unknown whether there were people who had grasped the power of chaos. If he could grasp the power of chaos, it would be more beneficial to him than obtaining 2 Chaos Divine artifacts. If you believe me, you will choose to believe me even if I don't tell you. If you don't believe me, you won't believe me no matter what I say or even if I make a blood oath. What do you say? Longao did not say any more nonsense because he knew very well that Ling Qingfei already had an answer in his heart. It would be useless for him to say anything more. Ling Qingfei stared at the youth in front of him and finally smiled. He shook his head and said, "I won't believe you. If you have a way, why are you acting like this now?" Ling Qingfei's meaning was very clear. In other words, if Longao really had a way to help him obtain the power of chaos, then why couldn't he refine the Chaos Stone Tablet? This was simply nonsense. Let alone him, no matter who it was, they would not choose to believe this. Speaking of his attributeless primal Chaos Tablet, Longao was depressed to the extreme. How could he not want to refine the attributeless primal Chaos Tablet? However, the attributeless primal Chaos Tablet had yet to open. Not to mention now, even if he waited for countless years, he still wouldn't be able to refine it. Now that the attributeless Chaos Stone Tablet had been half opened after devouring Qin Shuangshuang's essence blood, even Longao himself did not know when the other half would be opened. How could he not be depressed? In that case, I won't disturb you any further. Although Longao was unwilling to give up, he did not want to waste any more time. As for forcing Ling Qingfei to tell him how to lock onto the Chaos Stone Tablet, he did not even need to think about it. With his current strength, he could not compete with a starry sky ruler. Wait! Just as Longao was about to turn and leave, Ling Qingfei suddenly called out to him and said, "Do you really have a way to help me obtain the power of chaos?" Ling Qingfei was unwilling to give up even if there was only a sliver of a chance. After all, if he could obtain the power of chaos in the Chaos Stone Tablet, he would be able to soar to the heavens. If he really missed out on this opportunity, it would be even more difficult to find another one like this in the future. In the end, Ling Qingfei still wanted to try and see if Longao was telling the truth. Chapter 2802. Primal Chaos Force was too important for a starry sky ruler. I don't have full confidence, but I'm confident that I can help you control the primal chaos energy in the tablet. Ling Qingfei stared at the youth in front of him. Believe? Or choose not to believe? Ling Qingfei was conflicted because he didn't want to believe it. He knew better than anyone how difficult it was to control primal chaos energy. If a star ruler told him that, he might have believed it. But now? However, the one who had promised him was an immortal emperor. Even if the other party had already devoured the primal chaos tablet, a person who couldn't even refine the primal chaos tablet was telling him that there was a way for him to control the primal chaos power. It seemed that he was too anxious. He sighed deeply in his heart. He didn't want to say anything more. If it was another star ruler, they would definitely try to snatch the primal chaos artifacts in Longao's hands, including the tablet. But Ling Qingfei didn't. All these years, he had never bullied the weak. If it was his, it was his. If it wasn't, he wouldn't force it. It was because of this that Longao valued him. If he could become friends with this person, it would be a good thing. No matter what, he had many enemies, and they were all powerful star rulers and half-step star rulers. If he could become friends with Ling Qingfei, it would be beneficial for him. But Ling Qingfei didn't believe him. This was a bit troublesome. What should he do? Without you, I can still find the tablet. In the end, Longao chose to give up because he knew that no matter what he said, the other party wouldn't believe him. He knew it wouldn't work, so why bother? It would just be a waste of time. He felt helpless. Longao wanted to kill someone. He could have used the neutral tablet to sense the tablet in the Donghuang mountain. But now, he couldn't. If he used the neutral tablet, it would attract countless troubles. It would hinder him from sensing the tablet in the Donghuang mountain. Longao wouldn't be so rash. After all, saving Qin Shuangshuang was his priority. Everything else could be avoided. Apart from using the attribute-less Primal Chaos Stone Tablet, Longao really couldn't think of any other way to sense the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet. Time was too tight. Still worried, Longao entered the Primal Chaos Hall and found that Qin Shuangshuang's primordial spirit was still there. Only then did he heave a sigh of relief. As long as his primordial spirit was not destroyed, he could recover. When he thought of the primordial spirit, Longao thought of Nangong Yin. In this trip to the immortal world's starry sky, whether it was Qin Shuangshuang or Nangong Yin, they seemed to have known each other for countless years. Longao was almost certain that Nangong Yin knew something that he didn't. It was just that Nangong Yin didn't say anything. It was too strange. Longao still didn't know whether Nangong Yin was friend or foe, but facing this person, Longao always felt a trace of uneasiness. This made Longao feel very uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable. Even when he had met the Oracle, including Emperor Yun, he had never felt this way. Only when he met Nangong Yin did he feel this way. Even now, Longao still didn't know what was going on. Why did he feel so uneasy when he met Nangong Yin, as if Nangong Yin would become his greatest enemy? Others might not know about it, but how could Longao not know about it? Nangong Yin had already devoured a tablet. It was just that he hadn't cultivated it yet. But even so, Nangong Yin's current strength was enough to kill a half-step cosmic ruler. If he were to wait until Nangong Yin cultivated the tablet and became a cosmic ruler, it would be even harder for him to fight against him. The more he thought about it, the more his face turned grim. Should he strike first? Longao was truly worried. He didn't dare to strike first. After all, he didn't know how many more trump cards Nangong Yin had up his sleeves. After confirming that Qin Shuangshuang was fine for the time being, Longao left the Primal Chaos Hall. Even though he couldn't use the neutral tablet to sense the tablet in the East Royal Mountain, he didn't choose to give up. No matter what price he had to pay, he had to find the tablet. Not only did he have to find it, he had to lock onto it at the fastest speed possible. Who knew if anyone else would find it as well? Ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! A series of laughter rang out. Luo Xian was ecstatic to the max. She hadn't expected that she would actually be able to find a Primal Chaos tablet. Even though she had already devoured one, to be able to get her hands on a second one was still something to be excited about. Several tens of thousands of years ago, Luo Xian had successfully devoured the Primal Chaos tablet and cultivated it to become a cosmic ruler. The reason why she was here this time around was to try her luck and see if she could get her hands on another cosmic ruler. If that was the case, she might even be able to create another cosmic ruler. Having another cosmic ruler was always a good thing. Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were the same. They were one of the few who didn't strike out at Longao. Congratulations, Miss Luo. Looking at Ling Qingfei, who had suddenly appeared before her, Luo Xian merely chuckled out. It was clear that she was in a good mood. In just a few minutes, many people had gathered around. However, no one dared to strike out to snatch it. This was a complete joke. Luo Xian's strength was there for all to see. Even the cosmic rulers wouldn't dare to snatch it casually, let alone others. After all, Luo Xian's strength and temper weren't for show. Ling Qingfei, your body type can sense the Primal Chaos tablet, but you're still not as fast as me. Ling Qingfei smiled bitterly. He had thought that with his unique body type, he would be able to find the primal chaos tablet. But by the looks of it, his body type was dependent on luck as well. If he were lucky, he might be able to get his hands on the primal chaos tablet. If he were unlucky, he might not even be able to find it in 10,000 years, let alone a year or two. East Royal Mountain. Even though they knew that there was a primal chaos tablet, Luo Xian had gotten it first. However, other than his bitter smile, Ling Qingfei was truly congratulating her. Luo Xian knew Ling Qingfei's character well. Furthermore, the two of them had a pretty good relationship. In the entire immortal world, other than Ling Qingfei, no one else dared to call her Miss Luo. Even the cosmic rulers wouldn't dare to do so. Congratulations! Luo Xian didn't care about the other cosmic rulers around her. She felt very bored. All the cosmic rulers, including the others, left. Soon, only Ling Qingfei and Luo Xian were left. Since you're here, why don't you come out? You're really like a lingering spirit. Ling Qingfei was so angry that he laughed. He never thought that Luo Xian would dare to follow him. Chapter 2803. Longao smiled and walked out. Brother Ling, how have you been? Ling Qingfei smiled wryly. If it were anyone else, how could they continue to follow a ruler of the stars? That would be seeking death. But the person in front of him dared to do so. However, he had to admit that Ling Qingfei's temper was very good, and he didn't want to kill the innocent. Otherwise, any other ruler of the stars would have killed him long ago. Ling Qingfei even suspected that the other party had figured out his temper and personality, which was why he dared to follow him so fearlessly. But even so, Ling Qingfei really admired the courage of this person. Brother Ling, who is this? His name is Longao. He came to me before and asked me to help him lock onto a chaos tablet. The exchange was to help me obtain the power of chaos in the tablet. Ah! Hearing this, Luo Xian was very shocked. There was no choice between a chaos tablet and grasping the power of chaos. He would definitely choose to grasp the power of chaos. If it were any other cultivator, they would definitely choose to devour the chaos tablet. But Ling Qingfei didn't have this problem. Ling Qingfei had already devoured the chaos tablet. Even if he continued to obtain the chaos tablet, he would only be able to create a ruler of the stars as a follower. However, if Ling Qingfei grasped the power of chaos, then it would be a completely different concept. Before Luo Xian could say anything, Ling Qingfei said, Miss Luo, although Longao has already devoured the primal chaos tablet, he has not refined it. Do you think that someone who cannot even refine the primal chaos tablet can help me obtain the primal chaos power within the primal chaos tablet? So that was it. Luo Xian was a bit dazed when she heard about the power of chaos. Now that she thought about it, it was indeed so. However, Luo Xian was still very surprised. Longao, since you've already devoured the chaos tablet, then you should refine it as soon as possible. Why continue to lock onto the chaos tablet? Before Longao could speak, Ling Qingfei continued. He wants to save his wife. After hearing this, Luo Xian nodded approvingly. However, Luo Xian didn't say much. First of all, although she had just obtained a chaos stone tablet, she wasn't going to hand it over. After all, creating a star ruler's follower would be very beneficial to her. Secondly, she didn't believe that Longao could really help them obtain the power of chaos within the chaos stone tablet. That was complete nonsense. Just as Ling Qingfei had said, a person who could not even refine the primal chaos stone tablet was actually talking about obtaining primal chaos energy. Longao, I have to admit that you are indeed very powerful. However, there are some things. At this point, Luo Xian did not continue speaking, but the meaning of her words was very clear. Both Ling Qingfei and Luo Xian had seen what had happened with their own eyes. The fact that Longao could shatter the starry sky had truly shocked them. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't waste any words and would just snatch it. However, the two of them didn't. Longao admired the two of them very much. Because of this, he really wanted to make friends with them. Can you give me the extra primal chaos stone tablet in your hand? Ling Qingfei was helpless to the extreme. He had seen arrogant people before, but he had never seen someone this arrogant. So what if he could shatter the starry sky? At the very least, he couldn't kill the starry sky ruler. Ling Qingfei didn't say anything, but he was clearly unhappy. Although they didn't want to bully the weak and kill the innocent, it didn't mean that they wouldn't kill. If the other party went too far, Ling Qingfei didn't mind killing him. Luo Xian, however, was not angry at all. Instead, she said with interest, "No problem. Tell me your conditions." Longao was no fool. Of course, he knew that Luo Xian wouldn't agree to his conditions for no reason. It seemed that Luo Xian, like Ling Qingfei, also wanted his two Chaos Divine tools. However, after thinking about it, he understood. One was a Chaos Divine tool that could shatter the starry sky, and the other was a spatial Chaos Divine tool that could evade the starry sky ruler's lock-on. No matter which one it was, countless people would fight over it. Longao, you came to us so openly. Aren't you afraid that we'll snatch the Chaos Divine tool and Chaos Stone tablet in your hands? Both Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei knew very well that the other party dared to follow them because he had nothing to fear. His greatest reliance was the spatial Chaos Divine tool. If that was the case, there was nothing they could do. With such a heaven-defying Chaos Divine tool, and a spatial Chaos Divine tool at that, he would be invincible. He could even flaunt his strength in front of a starry sky ruler. Chaos Divine tool. In Longao's vast starry sky, only a few people knew about it. However, in the immortal realm, all the starry sky rulers, including half-step starry sky rulers and Immortal Emperor Immortal, knew about it. Knowing about it was one thing, having it or not was another thing. In any case, there were very few Chaos Divine tools in the immortal realm. One could probably count them with one's fingers. This was also why everyone went crazy when Longao revealed his Chaos Divine tool. "Do you think I'm afraid?" Longao wasn't afraid at all. With the Chaos Stone Tablet, he could ignore any starry sky ruler. If it had been in the past, Longao would have been suppressed by the joint forces and wouldn't have been able to enter the Primal Chaos Palace. Now, however, Longao knew that his situation was completely different. No one could lock onto his Primal Chaos Palace. Not even the Cloud Emperor could do it, let alone an ordinary star ruler. Luo Xian smiled and said, "Brother Ling and I wouldn't stoop to that level." Longao believed this very much. The two of them were different. If it were any other starry sky ruler, they would have attacked even if they knew they couldn't lock onto their target. However, the two of them were different. Even if he didn't have the Chaos Palace, they probably wouldn't have attacked. Longao's impression of the two grew more and more favorable. "If your condition is for me to give you two Chaos Divine tools in exchange for your Chaos Stone Tablet, then forget it." If he didn't have the Chaos Axe and the Chaos Palace, Longao knew very well that he would have died countless times. Even if he could get a Chaos Stone Tablet to save Qin Shuangshuang, he wouldn't be able to face a powerful enemy. It would have been a tragedy. He wanted to save Qin Shuangshuang very much, but Longao was still very rational. He didn't act rashly. He knew very well what he could do and what he couldn't do. Luo Xian wasn't surprised at all, nor was she angry. She had already guessed that Longao would do this. How could Longao, who had already devoured the Chaos Stone Tablet, use two Chaos Divine tools in exchange for her Chaos Stone Tablet? He probably wouldn't even be willing to use one Chaos Divine tool. Chapter 2804. Not to mention Longao, even Ling Qingfei was a little curious. What did Luo Xian mean? Did Luo Xian choose to believe Longao? That was not possible. Even she did not believe it. No one would choose to believe it. Luo Xian was not stupid. How could she believe Longao's words? I don't need your Chaos Divine tool. She knew that the other party would not use his Chaos Divine tool to exchange for the Chaos Tablet. Why would she ask for a rebuff? I don't know your condition? Luo Xian's answer surprised Longao. He did not expect the ruler of the universe to not want his Chaos Divine tool. Longao clearly knew how tempting the Primal Chaos Axe and the Primal Chaos Palace were. Do you really have a way to let us obtain the Chaos Power in the Chaos Tablet? Miss Luo. Ling Qingfei was extremely depressed. He knew that the other party was lying. Why did he still ask? However, Luo Xian did not say anything. Instead, she stared at the youth in front of her. Not now. However, when I refine the Chaos Tablet in my body and become the ruler of the universe, I will definitely be able to help the two of you obtain the Chaos Power. Intuition. All along, Longao had always trusted his intuition very much. His intuition told him that the neutral Chaos Tablet he had was not simple. Once the neutral Chaos Tablet was activated, he would be able to refine it like everyone else. Once he succeeded, he would be able to help the two of them obtain the Chaos Power. Sigh. Ling Qingfei sighed deeply. He was already filled with killing intent. He felt that he and Luo Xian were too easy to talk to. If it were anyone else, would the other party dare to do this? I believe you. Ah. Not only Ling Qingfei, but even Longao was dumbfounded. He did not expect that Luo Xian would choose to believe him. After all, no matter who it was, they would not believe him. He was just trying his luck. If he could not use the neutral Chaos Tablet to sense it, it would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens to find the Chaos Tablet. If time permitted, it would be fine. However, the current situation was too urgent. He had to find the Chaos Tablet as soon as possible. Otherwise, the longer he delayed, the more disadvantageous it would be for Qin Shuangshuang. The fastest method was the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet in Luo Xian's hands. However, Longao didn't have much hope. What did Luo Xian mean? Lady Luo, what do you mean? Ling Qingfei seemed to have suffered a blow. Even if Luo Xian had already devoured the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet, this Primal Chaos Stone Tablet was still extremely valuable. How could it be given away just like that? Before Luo Xian could say anything, Ling Qingfei looked at Longao and said, I don't know what you mean, but let me give you a piece of advice. Luo Xian is my friend. You'd better not have any ideas about her, or else. At this point, Ling Qingfei did not continue, but the meaning in his words was obvious. His body was filled with murderous intent. Longao was not angry at all. Instead, he appreciated Ling Qingfei even more. This was what a friend should be like. After stopping Ling Qingfei, Luo Xian directly handed the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet to Longao. Looking at the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet in his hand, Longao asked curiously, Why did you choose to believe me? If it were anyone else, with Luo Xian's strength, it would be as easy as flipping her hand to take back the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet. However, Longao's situation was completely different. He possessed a heaven-defying spatial chaos artifact. Once Longao stepped into the spatial chaos artifact, even the two of them would be powerless. Ling Qingfei was completely anxious. He had not expected Luo Xian to really give the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet to Longao. If Longao hid in the spatial chaos artifact at this time, they would not be able to do anything at all. I believe in my own eyes. Longao smiled. He didn't continue asking. After all, Luo Xian had already said so. If he continued to ask, it would be unnecessary. Ling Qingfei seemed to want to say something, but when the words reached his mouth, he swallowed them back. After I refine the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet and become the ruler of the universe, I will come find you. At that time, you and I will both control the power of Primal Chaos. Longao felt helpless. Even if he could open the other half of the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet, He didn't dare to guarantee how long it would take for him to refine it and become the ruler of the universe. Luo Xian said, "No problem. Goodbye." Longao did not continue to stay. He took the primal chaos stone tablet that Luo Xian gave him and quickly left. "Luo Xian, what are you thinking? You should know what a primal chaos stone tablet means. If you can create a ruler of the universe." At that time, before Ling Qingfei could finish, Luo Xian waved her hand and said, "I believe in him." Ling Qingfei naturally knew Luo Xian's personality, so he didn't continue. After all, the two of them were friends. If they worked together to search for the primal chaos stone tablet, their chances of finding it would be higher. After obtaining the primal chaos stone tablet, Longao left the Dongwang mountain as quickly as possible. After all, he had come to the Dongwang mountain this time to obtain a primal chaos stone tablet and save Qin Shuangshuang. Now that it was done, there was no need to wait any longer. After finding an extremely secluded place, Longao immediately entered the primal chaos hall. Without any hesitation, he let Qin Shuangshuang devour the primal chaos stone tablet. As long as Qin Shuangshuang could devour the primal chaos stone tablet, there was no doubt that not only would her primal chaos spirit be fine, but she would also quickly recover. In just a few short seconds, the primal chaos stone tablet that Qin Shuangshuang had just devoured floated out. Unable to devour. What did that mean? Longao naturally knew that some people might not be able to devour the primal chaos stone tablet even if they obtained it. For example, Bai Jing. When he had obtained the lightning primal chaos stone tablet, he had prepared to let Bai Jing devour the lightning primal chaos stone tablet. Unexpectedly, Bai Jing was unable to devour it. Could Qin Shuangshuang's situation be the same as Bai Jing's? Unable to devour the primal chaos stone tablet? If that was the case, things would be very troublesome. After all, it wasn't easy to continue searching for another primal chaos stone tablet. Who knew if he could find another primal chaos stone tablet? Even this primal chaos stone tablet had been given to him by Luo Xian. What was going on? Longao looked at the primal chaos stone tablet in front of him gloomily. Helpless, Longao could only continue to return to the Dongwang mountain and begin searching for primal chaos stone tablets, hoping that Qin Shuangshuang could devour another primal chaos stone tablet. That's Longao? Just as the two of them continued searching for primal chaos stone tablets, they suddenly saw a figure in the distance. Ling Qingfei's face instantly darkened. He said, "I knew he was lying. What a shameless person." Chapter 28:05. Luo Xian's expression turned ugly. She had thought that Longao would definitely leave the Dongwang mountain after obtaining the tablet. Longao had already said before that he obtained the primal chaos stone tablet in order to save his wife. But now? Since Longao had already obtained the tablet and was still here, didn't that mean that she had been tricked by him? Thinking of this, Luo Xian's face was filled with killing intent. Before Ling Qingfei could say anything, Longao, who was not far away, seemed to have noticed the two of them and quickly came over. In the blink of an eye. Humph! Luo Xian only snorted coldly. She had been full of confidence in the other party, but who would have thought that it would take less than a day? This made her feel extremely disappointed. Ling Qingfei's expression was also extremely gloomy as he said with an ugly expression, "Longao, do you think that you can show off in front of us just because you have a spatial chaos divine artifact?" In just an instant, Longao already knew what the two of them were thinking. He sighed deeply and said helplessly, "Luo Xian, this is your tablet. My wife can't devour this tablet at all, so I have to find other tablet." "Can't devour?" Luo Xian was very surprised and said, "Longao, your wife's luck is really bad. From what I know, almost everyone can swallow the primal chaos tablet. However, there are some who are unlucky and cannot swallow it." How could Longao not know about this? Whether it was Bai Jing or Qin Shuang, they were the unlucky type. Luo Xian did not have the slightest bit of anger. She kept her tablet and continued, "The three of us will search together." Ling Qingfei did not say much because he felt that Longao was not bad. After all, if it was someone else who obtained the tablet, they would definitely choose to leave without hesitation. At that time, even they would not be able to find the other party. Not only that, Ling Qingfei was not a fool. He knew that Longao was not an ordinary person. Since things had already come to this, it was not a big deal to make friends. The three of them formed a team to search for the tablet. "Look, it's that person. Not only does he have a primal chaos tablet that hasn't been devoured, he even has 2 heaven-defying starry sky divine artifacts. He has 2 sovereigns by his side. Who dares to attack him?" Many people had already discovered the 3 of them. By now, Longao had become completely famous. Not to mention the primal chaos stone tablet, just the fact that he could avoid being locked onto by the starry sky ruler was enough of a temptation. If it was just Longao alone, then there was no doubt that countless people would come out to snatch it. But now, no one dared to come out and provoke the 2 rulers of the starry sky. Unless they were out of their minds or had a death wish, no one was willing to come out. Luo Xian, Ling Qingfei, when did the 2 of you become someone's lackeys? Ha! A follower? Looking at the 3 people who suddenly appeared in front of them, everyone in the surroundings cried out in surprise. It's the 3 demon emperors. It seems like they have come to snatch the primal chaos stone tablet and starry sky divine artifact. Be it Luo Xian or Ling Qingfei, their faces did not look too good when they saw the 3 of them. The 3 demon emperors were the Grand Demon Emperor of the Starry Sky, the Second Demon Emperor of the Starry Sky, and the Third Demon Emperor of the Starry Sky. The 3 of them were blood brothers, and were rulers of the Starry Sky as well. The 3 demon emperors were extremely cruel characters to begin with. If they were to encounter Longao's incident, it was obvious what the outcome would be. Scram! Ling Qingfei was not afraid of the 3 of them. Even if he could not beat them, he could just leave. However, Luo Xian did not say anything more. Looking at the 3 of them before him, the 3 demon emperors burst out laughing maniacally. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Ah ha 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 ha! Following the maniacal laughter of the 3 demon emperors, everyone in the surroundings stumbled backward and looked at the 3 demon emperors in horror. The 3 demon emperors were truly horrifying. Even against the 2 rulers of the Starry Sky, they could kill as they pleased. Luo Xian, Ling Qingfei, the 3 of us have no interest in you guys at all. You had best scram to one side. The 3 demon emperors glared at Longao with a deadly glare and said coldly, "Hand over the Chaos Stone Steel in your hands and those 2 Chaos God weapons, and I can make the decision to let you off." Otherwise, the 3 demon emperors did not finish their words. However, the meaning behind them was clear. As long as the other party did not hand over the Chaos Stone Steel and the 2 Chaos God weapons, they would have to kill him without a doubt. The 3 of you sure know how to boast shamelessly. What rights do you have to kill someone in front of me? Luoxuan's temper was extremely fiery. In fact, it was even higher than the 3 demon emperors. Since they were long used to it, the 3 demon emperors were not bothered in the slightest bit. If it were just a single ruler of the Starry Sky, the 3 of them would not have any reservations at all. However, this was 2 rulers of the Starry Sky. The 3 of them had already decided that all they had to do was to kill this man and take away the Chaos Stone Steel and the 2 Chaos God weapons. As for Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei, this was not the time to strike yet. After all, it would not do them any good. Luo Xian, Ling Qingfei, let me give you guys a word of advice. You'd better leave this place. Otherwise, the 3 of us will not rest until we're dead. Not rest until we're dead. The 3 demon emperors would not rest until they were dead. Even a ruler of the starry sky would not dare to offend them casually. After all, if the three demon emperors joined forces, it would not be difficult for them to kill a ruler of the starry sky. In the entire immortal world, no one would dare to provoke the three demon emperors unless they could gather more than 5 rulers of the starry sky. However, unless it was absolutely necessary, who would be willing to provoke the 3 demon emperors? Longao was very touched. He, Luo Xian, and Ling Qingfei were actually not friends. If it were someone else, they would definitely not be willing to get the 3 demon emperors for him. However, not only did Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei not snatch his Chaos Stone Steel and the 2 Chaos God weapons, they did not even abandon him in the face of the 3 powerful demon emperors and left on their own. Just this point alone made the 2 of them worthy of being friends. Moreover, it was the kind of life and death friendship. Thank you, both of you. You should leave first. Longao also knew very well that even if Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei joined forces, they would not be a match for the 3 demon emperors. He had the Chaos Stone Steel, and was not afraid of any ruler of the starry sky at all. At worst, he could just enter the Chaos Hall. However, if the 2 sides really fought, the ones who would suffer in the end would be Ling Qingfei and Luo Xian. It was fine if they were not friends, but Longao now regarded them as true friends. It was because of this that Longao did not want anything to happen to them because of him. How could Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei not understand Longao's intention? The 2 of them instantly had a good impression of Longao. If it were someone else, they would be more than happy to stay and help. Chapter 2806. Friends. At this moment, both Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei had truly treated Longao as their friend. Haha, Brother Long, you've underestimated us. Since we're friends, we should share the joys and sorrows. Longao's eyes shone brightly as he nodded his head in agreement. Are you out of your minds? In the eyes of the 3 demon dominators, Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were indeed out of their minds. To fall out with them for the sake of an immortal emperor, what else could it be? Luo Xian let out a mocking laugh. You 3. Luo Xian's disdain grew stronger. She was not willing to continue the conversation. Now that things had come to this, the 3 demon emperors knew very well that it was almost impossible for them to avoid the 2 of them and snatch the Chaos Divine artifacts and Chaos Steels from each other. Having this thought, the 3 demon dominators exchanged glances with one another. They immediately made their moves without any hesitation. Even if they failed to kill the 2 rulers of Star Sky, in their opinion, as long as they could trap Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei, one of them would be able to kill the other and rob the loot. In the blink of an eye, the first demon dominator was fighting Ling Qingfei, the second demon dominator was fighting Luo Xian, and the third demon dominator was charging at Longao. From the beginning to the end, the 3 demon emperors did not put Longao in their eyes. After all, he was a genuine ruler of the starry sky, while Longao was just a mere immortal celestial emperor. It was impossible for Longao to survive a single blow from them. The crowd was utterly disdainful of Longao when they saw him trying to fight the 3 demon dominators. He knew it was impossible, yet he still insisted on doing it. He deserved to die. The crowd could not figure it out. Longao clearly had a space teleportation god weapon. As long as he hid inside the space teleportation god weapon, even the 3 demon dominators would not be able to locate him. But in the end, instead of hiding inside the space teleportation god weapon, he was planning to fight the 3 demon dominators. He was being reckless. The 3rd axe of the 9 chaos axes, the ultimate blow of strength. Ever since he comprehended this move, Longao discovered that his strength had improved by leaps and bounds. Previously, he couldn't kill a half-step starry sky ruler, but after comprehending this move, he could easily kill a half-step starry sky ruler. As for contending against a starry sky ruler, it was almost impossible. Boom! There was a loud bang. The three-demon emperor looked at the young man who had been pushed back 3 steps by him in shock. He had never expected that the young man would be able to resist his attack head-on. Moreover, he had only been pushed back 3 steps. Not to mention the 3 demon emperors. Even the others, including the 4 astral dominators, were shocked to the extreme. Was it true that the eternal immortal emperor could resist the starry sky ruler? He must be seeing things. Many people refused to believe it. After all, to their knowledge, the strongest martial artist in the immortal realm was the starry sky ruler. Even a half-step starry sky ruler would not be able to resist a starry sky ruler, let alone the immortal emperor. This was a law that no one could change. However, the young man in front of him had changed this law. "I'd like to see how many of my moves you can resist." This time, he had completely lost face. As a dignified starry sky ruler, he had been defeated by a puny eternal immortal emperor. Not to mention the others, he himself would not be able to pass this test. Anger. Endless anger. Endless anger turned into endless murderous intent. The 3 demon emperors attacked again. This time, they even used their ultimate blow in order to kill the young man in one move. The first time might be an accident, but the second time, or even the third time, could it all be an accident? A sure kill move. How could Longao not understand the intentions of the 3 demon emperors? He snorted coldly in his heart. If it was before, he would not be able to contend against a starry sky ruler, but now Longao was not worried. Even if he couldn't win, he could leave. As for Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei, Longao was not worried at all. Although it was impossible for the 2 of them to defeat the 3 demon emperors, it was also impossible for the 3 demon emperors to kill the 2 starry sky rulers. There was no doubt about this. The 3 devil emperors and Longao fought once again. This time, everyone believed that Longao would die without a doubt. In fact, they believed that Longao wouldn't be able to resist even one move. After all, the 3 devil emperors were furious to the extreme. But what was the result? What happened next shocked everyone. Even the 4 demon emperors who were fighting stopped abruptly and stared at the battle in front of them. Almost no one would be willing to choose this kind of fighting method. This was especially true when the disparity in strength was too great. Therefore, everyone couldn't figure out whether water had entered Longao's brain or not. He had unexpectedly chosen to fight head-on with the 3 demon emperors. He was simply acting recklessly. However, when everyone thought that Longao was undoubtedly going to die, Longao became braver and braver as he fought. He had actually exchanged dozens of punches with the 3 demon emperors in succession. However, he was still not killed by the 3 demon emperors. What was going on? Was Longao really that strong? No one was willing to believe that even if Longao had devoured the primal chaos tablet, he hadn't refined it. It was unheard of for him to fight against the star ruler with just the strength of an immortal emperor. However, Longao's cultivation level couldn't be compared with that of the 3 demon emperors. So, Longao had begun to succumb to their attacks. If this were to continue, he would undoubtedly die. Even though he possessed the immortal Yuan spirit, the outcome wouldn't be any better. Brother Ling, I think Longao won't be able to hold on for much longer. Let's make a move. How could Ling Qingfei not see this? However, he was still incomparably shocked. Longao was able to resist the attacks of the 3 demon emperors head-on without refining the primal chaos tablet and becoming the star ruler. It was hard to imagine how monstrous Longao's strength would be once he refined the primal chaos tablet and became the star ruler. It was unimaginable. Both Ling Qingfei and Luo Xian knew that Longao wouldn't be able to hold on for much longer. If this were to continue, there would be no result. Thinking of this, the 2 of them immediately made a move. However, the Great Demon Emperor and the Second Demon Emperor had also reacted and immediately continued to fight. The 2 of them were very anxious. They were trapped by the Great Demon Emperor and the Second Demon Emperor. If the three Demon Emperors wanted to kill Longao, it would be too easy. As for why Longao didn't hide in the Space Chaos Divine Tool, the two of them naturally knew the reason. It was also because of this that the two of them considered Longao a true friend. If it were someone else, they would have fled long ago when facing the Star Ruler. How could they continue to fight with the Star Ruler? However, Longao was doing something impossible. Chapter 2807. Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were extremely worried. Unfortunately, they were trapped by the first and second demon emperors and couldn't spare any effort to save Longao. As strong as Longao was, he couldn't fight the three demon emperors head-on. Gradually, Longao began to falter. He knew very well that if this continued, he would lose without a doubt. Rulers of the universe were indeed rulers of the universe. Even if the three demon emperors hadn't grasped the power of chaos, he couldn't fight them. They were too strong. Qin Shuangshuang's essence blood had only opened half of the non-attributed chaos steel, so Longao couldn't start refining it. Even if he tried, it would be futile. As for how to activate the other half of the non-elemental primal chaos stone tablet, Longao still didn't know. If he hadn't met Qin Shuangshuang in the immortal realm, Longao wouldn't have known that his non-attributed chaos steel hadn't been opened yet. He didn't need to open the other chaos steels, only his non-attributed chaos steel. What was going on? He couldn't figure it out. Fortunately, he had already opened half of it. As long as he thought of a way to refine the other half, it wasn't impossible. As the two sides fought, more and more rulers of the universe rushed over. Longao knew that he had to enter the Chaos Palace. If other rulers of the universe got involved, he would be in a lot of trouble even with Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei. There was no need to show off. The next second, Longao, who was fighting the three demon emperors, suddenly disappeared. This move again. The three demon emperors knew that Longao would do this, but they couldn't do anything. The spatial chaos steel was too powerful. If they could grasp the power of chaos, they might be able to lock onto it. But now they couldn't. Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei finally breathed a sigh of relief when they saw Longao disappear. Now that Longao had escaped, they didn't want to continue fighting. The two of them and the three demon emperors couldn't do anything to each other. Luo Xian, Ling Qingfei, you should know what the two chaos steels in Longao's hands mean. Perhaps we can use them to grasp the power of chaos in the chaos steel. Shameless! Luo Xian cursed fiercely. The other space rulers came to the side of the three demon kings. One of them said, "The second demon king is right. If we can share these two chaos divine items, we might be able to obtain chaos energy." In everyone's opinion, Longao must have a close relationship with the two. Otherwise, why would the two rulers of the stars lower themselves to help a mere immortal emperor? Could it be that the two of them were also after the other's chaos divine artifact? Everyone had their own agenda, so how could they let the two of them monopolize it? You guys are really shameless. Why should I share something that belongs to others with you? You can't control the power of primal chaos because you don't have the ability. It has nothing to do with Longao. Luo Xian is right. You are the rulers of the starry skies. Don't you have any shame? Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were furious. They didn't expect everyone to be like them, but they couldn't be so shameless. Especially since Star Ruler was shameless. The rulers of the starry sky, including the three demon emperors, didn't seem to care at all. What a joke. It would be fine if it were someone else's possession, but the other side had two Chaos Divine artifacts and a Chaos Steel. If they could get their hands on the Chaos Divine artifacts, they might really be able to control the power of primal chaos. Of course, no one would give up such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't the two of you want to control the power of primal chaos? We do. Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei answered in unison, without even thinking. Luo Xian sneered and said mockingly, "Let's not talk about the two of us. I believe any ruler of the starry skies would want the power of primal chaos from the chaos steel. However, there's a right to it. No matter how powerful the chaos divine artifact is, it belongs to Longao. What right do you have to snatch it?" If anyone else had said that, they would have been despised to death. What a joke. There was no such thing as a right to it in the vast starry skies where people ate each other. Strength was everything, and with strength, one could have everything. Moreover, the rulers of the starry sky wanted to take away the immortal emperor's possession. In the entire starry sky, only the two of them were able to obtain things in a right way. They wouldn't touch something that didn't belong to them. Not only that, the two of them wouldn't even kill the innocent unless someone provoked them on purpose. The two of them were none other than Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei. We don't care if you don't want to. As long as we can control the power of primal chaos, it doesn't matter if we take it by force. The winner is the king and the loser is the bandit. If you want to blame someone, blame it on the fact that he has the chaos divine artifact. Shameless. Luo Xian called them shameless again and prepared to attack. Ling Qingfei certainly wouldn't take a step back. Even in the face of dozens of rulers of the starry sky, the two of them didn't show the slightest fear. Right at this moment, the two of you don't resist in the slightest. Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei, who were about to attack, suddenly heard Longao's spiritual sense transmission. They knew that Longao wanted them to enter the spatial chaos divine artifact. Although they weren't afraid of the crowd, the two of them knew that with their current strength, they wouldn't be able to resist so many rulers of the starry sky. Disappeared? Looks like it's that person. Seeing that Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei had disappeared into thin air and couldn't be located, everyone guessed that their disappearance must have something to do with that person. The more it was so, the more greedy they became. It would be a lie to say that they didn't want such a powerful spatial chaos divine artifact. Inside the Chaos Palace, looking at the space around them, both Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were amazed. They had seen spatial starry sky divine artifacts before, but it was their first time seeing a spatial chaos divine artifact. "Brother Long, I wonder how long we can stay in this space?" Longao knew very well that Ling Qingfei had already seen through the clues, so he didn't hide it at all. He said helplessly, "Although I've obtained this spatial chaos divine artifact, I can't really control it, so outsiders can only stay here for 3 months. Just as expected. The two of them didn't have the slightest doubt. After all, Longao hadn't refined the Chaos Tablet yet. It was already good enough that he could enter the spatial chaos divine artifact, let alone control it. In their opinion, it was impossible. Not to mention Longao, even a ruler of the starry sky might not be able to really control this spatial chaos divine artifact. Chapter 2808. Even so, Longao could also stand in an invincible position. Both Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei knew very well how powerful Longao's spatial chaos divine artifact was. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they would have found it hard to believe. Chaos divine artifacts were indeed superior to starry sky divine artifact. "Brother Long, you're too reckless. Now that others know your secret, you..." Ling Qingfei did not finish his words, but the meaning in his words was very clear. A man's wealth was his own ruin. How could Longao not understand this? However, Longao didn't care at all. He had experienced life and death in the vast universe, let alone in the immortal realm. Counter soldiers with arms, water with an earth weir. Seeing that Longao didn't care at all, Ling Qingfei sighed deeply and didn't continue to persuade him. Instead, it was Luo Xian. "Brother Long, now that you've offended the 3 demon emperors and other cosmic rulers, why don't you leave the Dongwang Mountain? As for the Chaos Tablet, if you trust the two of us, give it to us. How about it? Luo Xian's meaning was clear. However, Longao wouldn't leave the Dongwang Mountain. So what if he offended cosmic rulers? As long as he had the Chaos Palace, he didn't need to fear anyone. Thinking of this, he said, I've decided to stay. Longao had 3 reasons for staying. First, if he left the Dongwang Mountain, the two would have to find him even if they found the Chaos Tablet, which would waste time. If he stayed, the time would be greatly reduced. Second, if he stayed, it would increase the chances of finding the Chaos Tablet. After all, time was of the essence and he couldn't afford to waste any time. Third, and most important, since he saw the two of them as friends, he wouldn't let them stay in the Dongwang Mountain alone, even if he knew they would be fine. This was what friends were like. If they were cowards, they wouldn't be worthy of being friends. Regarding Longao's meaning, how could the two people not know? They felt helpless. More importantly, they admired him. It was still the same sentence. If it had been anyone else who had encountered an astral ruler, they would have run as far as they could, even if they knew that staying would be dangerous. Friends meant nothing in the face of life, but this Longao was a good person. Even though he knew that many astral rulers were eyeing him, he still decided to stay. Regardless of whether it was his friends or his wife, he was affectionate and righteous. Brother Long, what do you plan to do next? The two of you, I must find more primal chaos tablet. Even if the starry sky ruler stops me, I must. Searching for a primal chaos stone tablet was completely useless. If he was unlucky, Qin Shuangshuang would not be able to devour it again. At that time, he would have to continue searching. Until now, Longao didn't know why Qin Shuangshuang's luck was so bad. After all, out of 10 people, 9 of them were able to swallow the Chaos Tablet. Just like white crystal, her luck was extremely bad. Yes, both of us will help you. Big Sister Luo, Big Brother Ling, although I don't have the confidence to let you obtain the power of Primal Chaos, I have a feeling that when I refine the Primal Chaos Tablet, I will definitely be able to find a way. Since things had already turned out this way, how could the two of them suspect Longao? Taking 10,000 steps back. Even if Longao really had no way to let them control the power of Primal Chaos, they wouldn't mind at all. They would still treat Longao as a friend. The two of them didn't say anything, but Longao knew what they were thinking. Brother Long, I want to ask, where did you get these 2 chaos artifacts? Ling Qingfei of course knew that this question was inappropriate. If it were anyone else, he wouldn't ask this either. However, he really did treat Longao as a friend, which was why he asked. Although Luo Xian didn't say anything, it was obvious from her expression that she and Ling Qingfei wanted the chaos artifacts very much. The temptation of the chaos artifacts was there. Not to mention others, even the starry sky ruler couldn't resist. If they could obtain their own chaos artifacts, it would be like adding wings to a tiger for the two of them. Longao didn't mind it at all. He didn't hide anything either. He gave a brief account of how he had obtained the 2 chaotic divine weapons. In fact, he had been lucky to obtain the 2 chaotic divine weapons. After listening to the story, both Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were speechless. Longao's luck was indeed a bit off. It was impossible for others to obtain a chaos artifact, but he had 2 chaos artifacts in a row. Not only that, he had obtained them before becoming a starry sky ruler. The two of them already knew that if it weren't for the 2 chaos artifacts, Longao would have died countless times. Luck is the most important thing. Luo Xian nodded in agreement. The 3 of them talked for another half an hour before leaving the Chaos Palace. The current situation was very special. There was no need to fight with the other starry sky rulers. The most important thing was to find the Chaos Tablets first. The 3 of them did have an advantage over the others. After becoming friends, Ling Qingfei didn't keep it a secret. After all, it wasn't a secret in the immortal world that he could find the Chaos Tablets. After listening to Ling Qingfei's words, Longao was also surprised. It seemed that the vast starry sky was full of strange things. There was even such a special physique. If Ling Qingfei had not personally said it, he would not have believed it even if he was beaten to death. However, Longao knew very well that with Ling Qingfei's physique, he could only succeed once. Otherwise, Ling Qingfei would not have been able to lock onto a single chaos tablet despite having been in the Donghuang Mountain for so long. Even so, Ling Qingfei already had a huge advantage over the others. After all, it was impossible for countless people to find a chaos tablet. Luo Xian, Ling Qingfei, and Longao worked together to search. In less than a day, they finally locked onto another primal chaos stone tablet. Without any hesitation, the three of them immediately entered the primal chaos hall and began to treat Qin Shuangshuang. Longao was very worried. If Qin Shuangshuang still couldn't devour, he didn't know what to do. After all, no one knew how many chaos tablets there were in the Donghuang Mountain. Even if there were, they might not be able to get more. As expected, Qin Shuangshuang was still unable to swallow the primal chaos stone tablet. The primal chaos stone tablet that had just entered her body had been forcefully forced out by Qin Shuangshuang in less than a few seconds. Seeing this, Longao let out a deep sigh. Even he did not know what was going on. Chapter 2809. Even so, Longao could also stand in an invincible position. Both Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei knew how powerful Longao's spatial chaos divine artifact was. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they wouldn't have believed it. Chaos divine artifact was indeed a super divine artifact above the universe divine artifact. Brother Long, you're too reckless. Now that others know your secret, you, Ling Qingfei did not finish his words, but the meaning in his words was very clear. A man's wealth was his own ruin. How could Longao not understand this? However, Longao didn't care at all. He had experienced life and death in the vast universe, let alone in the immortal realm. Different situations call for different actions. Seeing Longao's indifference, Ling Qingfei sighed deeply and didn't continue to persuade him. Luo Xian, on the other hand, Brother Long, now that you've offended the 3 demon emperors and the other rulers of the universe, why don't you leave the Donghuang Mountain? As for the Chaos Tablet, if you trust us, give it to us. How about it? Luo Xian's meaning was clear. However, Longao wouldn't leave the Donghuang Mountain. So what if he offended the rulers of the universe? As long as he had the Chaos Palace, he didn't need to fear anyone. Thinking of this, he said, I've decided to stay. Longao had 3 reasons for staying. First, if he left the Donghuang Mountain, the two would have to find him even if they found the Chaos Tablet, which would waste time. If he stayed, the time would be greatly reduced. Second, if he stayed, it would increase the chances of finding the Chaos Tablet. After all, time was of the essence and he couldn't afford to waste any time. Third, and most important, since he saw the two as friends, he wouldn't let them stay in the Donghuang Mountain alone, even if he knew that they would be fine. This was a friend. If they were cowards, they wouldn't be worthy of being friends. Regarding Longao's meaning, how could the two people not know? They felt helpless. More importantly, they admired him. It was still the same sentence. If it had been anyone else who encountered an astral ruler, they would have run as far as they could, even if they knew that staying behind would be dangerous. Friends meant nothing in the face of life, but this Longao was a good person. Even though he knew that many astral rulers were eyeing him, he still decided to stay. Regardless of whether it was his friends or his wife, he was affectionate and righteous. Brother Long, what do you plan to do next? The two of you, I must find more primal chaos tablet. Even if the starry sky ruler stops me, I must. Searching for a primal chaos stone tablet was completely useless. If he was unlucky, Qin Shuangshuang would not be able to devour it again, and he would have to continue searching. Until now, Longao didn't know why Qin Shuangshuang's luck was so bad. After all, out of 10 people, 9 of them were able to swallow the Chaos Tablet. Just like White Crystal, her luck was extremely bad. Yes, both of us will help you. Big Sister Luo, Big Brother Ling, although I don't have the confidence to help you obtain the power of Primal Chaos, I have a feeling that when I refine the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet, I will definitely be able to find a way. Since things had already turned out this way, how could the two of them suspect Longao? Taking 10,000 steps back. Even if Longao really couldn't help them obtain the power of Primal Chaos, they wouldn't mind at all. They would still treat Longao as a friend. The two of them didn't say anything, but Longao knew what they meant. Brother Long, I want to ask, where did you get these 2 chaos artifacts? Ling Qingfei obviously knew that it wasn't appropriate to ask this. If it was anyone else, he wouldn't have asked this. However, he really did treat Longao as a friend, which was why he asked. Although Luo Xian didn't say anything, it was obvious from her expression that she and Ling Qingfei wanted the chaos artifacts very much. The temptation of the chaos artifacts was there. Not to mention others, even the Starry Sky ruler couldn't resist. If they could obtain their own chaos artifacts, it would be like adding wings to a tiger for the two of them. Longao didn't mind it at all. He didn't hide anything either. He gave a brief account of how he had obtained the 2 chaotic divine weapons. In fact, he had been lucky to obtain the 2 chaotic divine weapons. After hearing the story, both Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were a little speechless. Longao's luck was indeed heaven-defying. It was impossible for others to obtain a chaos artifact, but he was the only one who obtained 2 chaos artifacts in a row. Not only did he obtain them, but he also obtained them before becoming a Starry Sky ruler. The two of them already knew that if it wasn't for the 2 chaos artifacts, Longao would have died many times over. Luck is the most important thing. Luo Xian nodded in agreement. The 3 of them talked for another half an hour before leaving the Chaos Palace. The current situation was very special. There was no need to fight with the other Starry Sky rulers. The most important thing now was to find a way to find the Chaos Tablet. The 3 of them did have an advantage over the others. After becoming friends, Ling Qingfei didn't continue to hide it. After all, it wasn't a secret in the immortal world that he could find the Chaos Tablets. Many people knew about it. After listening to Ling Qingfei's words, Longao was also very surprised. It seemed that the vast starry sky was full of strange things. Even this kind of special physique existed. If Ling Qingfei had not personally said it, even if he was beaten to death, he would not have believed it. However, Longao knew very well that Ling Qingfei's body could only succeed once. Otherwise, Ling Qingfei wouldn't have been able to find a chaos tablet after entering the Donghuang Mountain for so long. Even so, Ling Qingfei already had a great advantage over the others. After all, countless people wanted to find a chaos tablet, but it wasn't very likely. Luo Xian, Ling Qingfei, and Longao worked together to search. In less than a day, they finally locked onto another primal chaos stone tablet. Without any hesitation, the 3 of them immediately entered the primal chaos hall and began to treat Qin Shuangshuang. Longao was very worried. If Qin Shuangshuang still couldn't devour, he didn't know what to do. After all, no one knew how many chaos tablets there were in the Donghuang Mountain. Even if there were, they might not be able to find more. As expected, what one feared would happen. Qin Shuangshuang still couldn't devour the chaos tablet. The chaos tablets that had just entered her body were forced out by Qin Shuangshuang in less than a few seconds. Seeing this, Longao sighed deeply. Even he didn't know what was going on. Chapter 28:10. Ling Qingfei and Luo Xian were also depressed. What was wrong with Qin Shuangshuang? Even if she couldn't do it once, why couldn't she do it a second time? This didn't seem to be the reason anymore. Thinking about it, Luo Xian finally said, "Brother Long, forgive me for being direct. Sister Luo, please speak." Long Ao's mind was in a mess. He was almost certain that Qin Shuangxuang couldn't devour any Chaos Stone tablet. If that was the case, wouldn't she be incurable? Thinking about this, Long Ao's heart ached. No matter the price, he had to save Qin Shuangxuang. Based on my guess, no matter what Chaos Stone tablet Qin Shuangxuang tried to devour, she couldn't succeed. Ling Qingfei nodded in agreement. That should be the case. So there's no need to continue looking for Chaos Stone tablet. What the two said was exactly what Long Ao thought. It was also what he was most afraid of. There should be two reasons why Qin Shuangxuang couldn't devour Chaos Stone tablet. Sister Luo, what's the reason? Hearing that Qin Shuangxuang knew the reason, Long Ao immediately asked. He thought about it but still couldn't figure out why Qin Shuangxuang couldn't devour Chaos Stone tablet. Finding the right remedy. If he could know why Qin Shuangxuang couldn't devour Chaos Stone tablets, he would have a target. The first reason is that Qin Shuangxuang's body is special. She can't devour any Chaos Stone tablet. I had a friend who also had this special body. Even if he got a Chaos Stone tablet, he couldn't devour it. His heart skipped a beat. If Qin Shuangxuang was really like this, then it would be troublesome. Even he knew that if he wanted to save Qin Shuangxuang, only by devouring the Chaos Stone tablets could he save her primordial spirit. Long Ao didn't say anything. Luo Xian had already said that there was another reason. Maybe Qin Shuangxuang wasn't so unlucky. Maybe it was the second reason that caused her to be unable to devour the Chaos Stone tablet. As for the second reason, if I'm not wrong, it's because Qin Shuangxuang was heavily injured and couldn't devour the Chaos Stone tablets. Long Ao naturally hoped it was the second reason. If it was the first reason, then there was nothing he could do. If it was the second reason, he had a way to help Qin Shuangxuang devour the Chaos Stone tablet. Even Luo Xian didn't know the reason. Looking at Qin Shuangxuang lying on the bed, Ling Qingfei said helplessly, "It's really strange. Even we can't see this kind of injury." Long Ao didn't hide anything either. He told her everything about his attributeless primal Chaos Stone tablet and how he had devoured Qin Shuangxuang's blood essence. Devouring blood essence? The primal Chaos Stone tablet devoured blood essence? This kind of thing was unheard of. If it wasn't for Long Ao, they wouldn't have believed it even if they were beaten to death. Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei looked helpless because they didn't know what was going on either. Why would the Chaos Tablet that Long Ao had devoured suddenly want to devour Qin Shuangxuang's blood essence? Brother Long, I've truly never heard of anyone wanting to open a primal Chaos Tablet after devouring it. Ling Qingfei nodded and said, "The primal Chaos Stone Tablet that Brother Long has devoured is truly a little strange. The other primal Chaos Stone Tablets would not take the initiative to attack people, only this one." Long Ao was extremely curious about the primal Chaos Stone Tablet that he had devoured. He didn't know what was going on. He couldn't refine it and it attacked people who touched him. All sorts of explanations showed that the attributeless primal Chaos Stone Tablet was definitely not simple. However, although half of the attributeless primal Chaos Stone Tablet had been opened, there was still the other half that couldn't be opened. Long Ao was extremely clear that if he wanted to understand what was going on with the attributeless primal Chaos Stone Tablet, he had to open the other half first. But at this moment, the attributeless primal Chaos Stone Tablet in Long Ao's body suddenly floated out and arrived in front of Qin Shuangxuang. What was the meaning of this? Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei, including Long Ao, wanted to see what was going on. They were immediately blocked by the energy barrier released by the attributeless primal Chaos Stone Tablet. As for Long Ao, he couldn't move at all. He couldn't move. It came again. Longao was most afraid of this sort of thing. Because before, the attributeless primal chaos stone tablet had devoured Qin Shuangshuang's essence blood. This time it came again. Who knew what the attributeless primal chaos stone tablet was going to do? Qin Shuangshuang's situation was already extremely dangerous. If it came again, Longao couldn't guarantee that Qin Shuangshuang wouldn't immediately die. As for Longao's situation, how could Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei not know? The two of them were extremely shocked. Because in this situation, they didn't know either. They couldn't even help. Longao's primal chaos stone tablet was simply too powerful. Even though they had already become rulers of the universe, in front of this primal chaos stone tablet, they still couldn't forcefully break open the energy barrier. What was going on? Brother Long's primal chaos stone tablet is making my primal chaos stone tablet feel a trace of unease. Luo Xian nodded. I have the same feeling. It seems this primal chaos stone tablet isn't simple. No wonder Brother Long can't refine it. If you can open the other half and truly refine it, I'm sure the other primal chaos stone tablets won't be able to compare to it. Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were both shocked. They didn't have the slightest method to help. The two of them didn't continue to act blindly without thinking. Neither of them knew what was going on. If they forcefully acted and ended up being a hindrance, they wouldn't even have the chance to regret it. It's starting to devour. As expected. If you want to open this primal chaos stone tablet, you still have to devour Qin Shuangshuang's Yuan spirit. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I really wouldn't have believed it. Ling Qingfei was completely dumbfounded. This was because he had never seen a situation like this. Devouring a primal chaos stone tablet could be directly refined. He had never seen a primal chaos stone tablet that needed to be opened. Moreover, it needed a woman's essence blood and Yuan spirit. Unbelievable, even inconceivable. Just what was going on? Seeing the primal chaos stone tablet begin to devour Qin Shuangshuang's Yuan spirit, Longao was completely dumbfounded. What he feared would happen. Although he had devoured Qin Shuangshuang's essence blood and had already recovered, Qin Shuangshuang had fallen unconscious. If he devoured Qin Shuangshuang's Yuan spirit, even if it wasn't destroyed, who knew what would happen? Qin Shuangshuang's Yuan spirit was already very weak. This was playing him to death. Longao was extremely anxious, but he couldn't do anything. Because even if he devoured the primal chaos stone tablet, he wouldn't be able to control it. In other words, the primal chaos stone tablet wasn't under his control at all. P.S. Chapter 288 has been uploaded twice due to slow internet. Everyone only needs to subscribe to one chapter. Little 9 will have the technology delete it later. Please forgive me. Chapter 28:11. What should he do? What should he do? Longao was extremely anxious. Looking at the non-elemental chaos tablet devouring Qin Shuangshuang's primordial spirit, who knew if it would completely devour her primordial spirit and cause her to die. He definitely didn't want to see that happen. The two of you, help me stop the devouring. Longao couldn't move at all. The only thing he could do now was to ask for their help. How could Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei not know Longao's intentions? They didn't dare to hesitate at all. Whether it was Luo Xian or Ling Qingfei, they immediately rushed towards the tablet. But the result? The aura released by the non-elemental chaos tablet directly blocked the two of them. They couldn't take a single step forward. Brother Long, the two of them couldn't say anything else. They could only watch as the tablet devoured Qin Shuangshuang's primordial spirit. If this continued, anyone could guess what the result would be. They were completely stunned. Longao never expected that at this moment, not only would he be unable to move, but even the two-star rulers wouldn't be able to take a single step forward. Qin Shuangshuang was completely finished. Time passed quickly. The non-elemental chaos tablet devoured for a few minutes before finally stopping. At this moment, Longao's body suddenly trembled. He knew in his heart that the countless tablets had all been activated. In other words, from now on, he could truly refine the non-elemental chaos tablet. The tablet had successfully returned to Longao's body. If it was any other time, Longao would definitely be extremely excited to discover that he could truly refine the tablet. But now, Longao wasn't excited at all. Arriving in front of Qin Shuangshang and seeing her primordial spirit completely devoured, Longao knew that Qin Shuangshang had truly died. Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei both sighed helplessly. Because even now, no one could have imagined that things would turn out like this. Brother Long, have you ever wondered why Qin Shuangshang's essence blood and primordial spirit could activate your non-elemental chaos tablet? How could Longao not know what Ling Qingfei meant? But he didn't know why. He shook his head. I don't know either. To tell you the truth, I come from another vast starry sky. I met Qin Shuangshang only a few months ago. Did they come from another vast starry sky? Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were shocked. Of course, they knew that there wasn't only one immortal realm starry sky. There must be a vast starry sky like the immortal realm starry sky, but no one could go there. Even the ruler of the stars couldn't travel to the other side of the vast starry sky, let alone ordinary cultivators. The two of them had never imagined that Longao had actually come from another vast starry sky. He didn't ask any questions. The two of them were very clear that if Longao wanted to say something, even if they didn't ask, they believed that Longao would say it. If Longao didn't want to say it, then no matter what they said, it would be useless. Brother Long, perhaps Qin Shuangshang hasn't truly perished. What do you mean? Longao was very curious because Qin Shuangshang's primordial spirit had been completely swallowed by the primordial chaos stone tablet. How could someone without a primordial spirit not die? However, Longao knew that Luo Xian wouldn't say that just to comfort him. Could it be that Qin Shuangshang really hadn't perished? Thinking of this, Longao's eyes exploded with joy. He immediately asked, Sister Luo, just what is going on? Brother Long, if my guess is correct, the reason why your primordial chaos stone tablet needs Qin Shuangshang's essence blood and primordial spirit is definitely not simple. Longao nodded. He had also thought of this. His elemental primordial chaos stone tablet couldn't have been opened by Qin Shuangshang's essence blood and primordial spirit for no reason. He wouldn't believe that there wasn't something fishy about it. As for what was fishy about it, Longao couldn't figure it out. Let alone Longao, even Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei couldn't figure it out. Looking at Luo Xian's expression, Longao already knew that even the two of them didn't know. He sighed deeply and said helplessly, I'd rather not open the primordial chaos stone tablet than let anything happen to her. Brother Long, forgive me for being blunt. Since you've only known Qin Shuangshang for a few months and according to what you said, your relationship isn't very deep, why do you say she's your wife? Was it because the primordial chaos stone tablet had devoured Qin Shuangshang's essence blood and essence spirit? That didn't seem to make sense. To be honest, I've only known Qin Shuangshang for a few months. However, ever since the primordial chaos stone tablet devoured Qin Shuangshang's essence blood, I don't know why, but I've felt that she's the woman I love the most, that she's my wife. I can't get rid of this feeling. It's as if Qin Shuangshang had perished, and I, Longao, did not continue speaking, because this feeling was a bit ethereal. It was impossible to explain it clearly. However, Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei were already dumbfounded. Of course, they knew what Longao meant. Brother Long, are you and Qin Shuangshang both reincarnated? Longao nodded and then shook his head. He didn't know whether he and Qin Shuangshang were reincarnated or not. He said, I don't know. Although Qin Shuangshang's essence spirit has already disappeared, she hasn't truly perished. Although I don't know why, I can tell you clearly that perhaps Qin Shuangshang really can be saved. I understand. Now that Qin Shuangshang's essence spirit had been forcefully devoured by the primordial chaos stone tablet, how could Longao be in the mood to stay any longer? After bidding farewell to the two of them, he left the Grand Orient Mountain. Longao knew that with Qin Shuangshang's current situation, he had to find another way to save her as soon as possible since she couldn't devour the primordial chaos stone tablet. Otherwise, she would definitely die. Longao didn't go find Nangong Yin. From the beginning to the end, he felt that Nangong Yin wasn't simple. It was as if he had known him for a long time, and Nangong Yin seemed to know him very well. Under these circumstances, he didn't want to be passive. If he continued to go find Nangong Yin, it might backfire. Longao didn't want to be passive. Perhaps he could wait until the day he truly refined the primordial chaos stone tablet and became a ruler of the universe, then he could go find Nangong Yin. However, now was definitely not the best time. Longao left the Grand Orient Mountain with Qin Shuangshang and immediately flew far away. Now that he was being watched by many rulers of the universe, it wouldn't matter if he was careless. However, if he implicated Qin Shuangshang, then it would be troublesome. In the blink of an eye, 3 months quietly passed. However, 3 months later, Longao looked at Qin Shuangshang in the primordial chaos hall. He was so shocked that he couldn't speak. He never would have thought that Qin Shuangshang had been in the primordial chaos hall for 3 months without being killed. Chapter 28:12. According to normal circumstances, aside from himself, no one else could stay in the Chaos Hall for more than 3 months. Only Qin Shuangshang. Not only had she been in there for more than 3 months, but she hadn't been teleported out or killed by the Chaos Hall. If that was the case, he still had time to find a way to save Qin Shuangshang. The matter of the Dongwang Mountain persisted for several years before gradually calming down. After confirming that there were no more chaos steels on the mountain, everyone left. As for how many people found the primal chaos stone tablets in the East Imperial Mountain, no one knew how many primal chaos stone tablets there were in the East Imperial Mountain. However, Longao didn't care. The only thing he knew was that Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei had each obtained at least one primal chaos stone tablet. Longao treated the two of them as friends, so when the two of them obtained the primal chaos stone tablets, he was truly happy for them. The most famous place in the world of immortals wasn't the Dongwang Mountain, but the mysterious Longao. According to rumors, not only was Longao able to resist the 3 demon emperors, but he also possessed the primal chaos stone tablet and 2 primal chaos divine tools. Even the Starry Sky ruler would want to obtain these 2 primal chaos divine tools. From this, one could imagine just how heaven-defying the 2 chaos divine tools in Longao's hands were. Ever since the Dongwang Mountain, Longao had disappeared. He searched everywhere. Other cultivators wanted nothing more than to lock onto Longao's location, to say nothing of the Star Ruler. The Forbidden Land of Immortal Sealing. The Forbidden Land of Immortal Sealing was one of the forbidden lands in the world of immortals, and one with absolute power. Even the Star Ruler didn't dare casually set foot in the Forbidden Land of Immortal Sealing. Some people, including the Star Ruler, had never come out after entering. Over time, not a single cultivator could be seen around the Forbidden Land of Immortal Sealing. Longao brought Qin Shuangshang, regardless of the legend of the Immortal Sealing Forbidden Land. In the end, they still resolutely came here. The reason was simple. Longao had asked around about the destruction of the primordial spirit, but hadn't truly died. In the end, Longao brought Qin Shuangshang here because many people said that the Immortal Sealing Forbidden Zone, the absolute forbidden zone of the immortal world, had something that could restore the nascent spirit. In order to save Qin Shuangshang, Even though he knew that the immortal ceiling Forbidden Land was full of dangers, he still came here regardless of the danger. His expression was grave. Looking at the entrance in front of him, Longao had a bad feeling even though he had yet to truly enter the immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone. Ever since he entered the starry sky of the immortal world, everything was mysterious and strange. Nangong Yin, Qin Shuang Shuang, Dongwang Mountain, immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone. All of this seemed to be related to him. Until now, he still didn't know what his relationship with Qin Shuang Shuang was, and whether he and Qin Shuang Shuang were reincarnations. He took a deep breath. Longao stared at the immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone in front of him. In the next second, he took a step forward and disappeared without a trace. After entering the tunnel, Longao's figure was already enveloped by a black light. In the next second, his body arrived in a dense forest. The surroundings were eerie and eerie. "What's going on?" Longao's expression turned grave. Ever since he entered the immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone, he had a bad feeling, as if something was about to happen. As for what it was, even Longao himself didn't know. He had no choice. As long as there was a chance, he wouldn't choose to give up. No matter the price, he had to save Qin Shuang Shuang. Longao tried to use his primordial spirit to cover the entire immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone, but to his dismay, his primordial spirit couldn't even cover an area of 10,000 meters. It seemed that this immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone wasn't simple. He didn't dare to be careless. He walked forward step by step. The more he walked, the more shocked he became, because the countless trees around him seemed to be alive. They didn't attack, but it was like a maze. He walked around, but he couldn't get out. It wasn't a formation, but a natural maze. This maze was countless times scarier than a formation. At this moment, Longao finally understood why the immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone was one of the absolute forbidden zones in the immortal world. Even the starry sky ruler didn't dare to step in. Not to mention other things, this natural maze alone could trap even the starry sky ruler, not to mention others. Even if he wasn't killed by the maze, he would be trapped here for the rest of his life. Just thinking about it was terrifying. Longao didn't continue walking forward. He knew that even if he walked for tens of thousands of years, he would still be going around in circles. It would be a waste of time. His expression turned grave. It's really troublesome to leave this natural maze. Even if Longao was a formation master, he couldn't get out of this natural maze. What should he do? He thought that he could save Qin Shuang Shuang after entering the immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone. But he didn't expect to be trapped in this so-called natural maze before he could find a way to save Qin Shuang Shuang. At this moment, Longao finally understood why he couldn't release his Yuan spirit. If his Yuan spirit could cover the entire immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone, then this natural maze wouldn't be of any use. Looking at the surrounding maze, Longao gradually found the key to the problem. If he wasn't wrong, these strange-looking trees should be the key to the maze. Gently closing his eyes, he sensed for dozens of minutes. Then, Longao's footsteps finally moved. It was very ethereal, as if he was drunk. In this way, Longao spent 3 days unknowingly and finally walked out of the dense forest, which was the so-called natural maze. Looking at the natural maze behind him, Longao finally heaved a sigh of relief. Until now, he still didn't know how he walked out of the natural maze. It was all based on a feeling. It was still the same sentence. This feeling was a little ethereal. Even he himself didn't know what was going on. Letting out a deep sigh, Longao found that more and more things were too mysterious and strange. He was like a chess piece. "Brother Long, long time no see. How have you been?" Seeing Nangong Yin suddenly appear in front of him, Longao was completely shocked. He never thought that he would meet Nangong Yin in the immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone. It seemed that wherever he went, Nangong Yin would find him. Moreover, Longao even had a feeling that Nangong Yin was waiting for him here. Brother Nangong, I wonder what you came to the immortal ceiling Forbidden Zone for? Longao was very clear about the terror of the natural maze. Nangong Yin was able to leave the natural maze. It seemed a little too strange. Chapter 28:13. Waiting for you. Just as expected, Longao fear of Nangong Yin grew. He didn't know why Nangong Yin was waiting here for him. Whether he was friend or foe, he still didn't know. Brother Nangong, what are you waiting for me for? Longao was already prepared to attack at any time. He didn't know why, but he had an intuition that the Nangong Yin in front of him was his enemy, and not his so-called friend. All along, Longao had always believed in his intuition. Nangong Yin seemed to be able to guess Longao's thoughts. He said, Brother Long, do you want to save Qin Shuang? Condition. Longao knew that there was no free lunch in this world. How could Nangong Yin save Qin Shuang for no reason? Another point. Longao was very curious. Since Qin Shuang couldn't devour the primal chaos tablet, what other method could save her? Brother Long, I believe you've already seen that Qin Shuang is a reincarnated body. Continue. She was also the ruler of space in her previous life. If you want to save Qin Shuang, you have to find her specific primal chaos tablet. Otherwise, she'll be a zombie for the rest of her life. Do you know where this tablet is? There was no doubt. Longao knew that if there were no accidents, this should be the reason. Otherwise, why couldn't Qin Shuang devour the tablet? I don't know. Longao was somewhat angry. Nangong Yin was clearly playing with him. Brother Long, to tell you the truth, I'll be in seclusion for a long time to refine the primal chaos tablet. I hope you can promise me one thing. As compensation, I won't disappoint you. How about it? Tell me. Others might not know, but how could Longao not know? Although Nangong Yin was only an immortal emperor, he had already devoured the primal chaos tablet. As long as he went into seclusion to refine the tablet, he could become the ruler of space. Longao didn't immediately agree because he didn't know what Nangong Yin was talking about. If he could do it, he would do it. If he couldn't, he wouldn't touch it. I want the primal chaos axe in your hand. In exchange, I can give you 2 other primal chaos divine tools. How about it? His face sank. Longao had thought of countless possibilities, but he never thought that Nangong Yin would actually want the primal chaos axe in his hands. Not only that. According to Nangong Yin's words, it seemed that Nangong Yin also had a chaos divine tool. Furthermore, he had 2 chaos divine tools. Who exactly was Nangong Yin? He actually had a legendary chaos divine tool. A primal chaos divine artifact was in existence above starry sky divine artifact. Longao, I can guarantee that the 2 chaos divine weapons in my hands won't disappoint you. Is that true? Longao was no fool. If what Nangong Yin said was true, why would he want to use the 2 chaotic divine tools in his hands to exchange for the chaotic axe in his hands? Furthermore, how did Nangong Yin know that the axe in his hand was the primal chaos axe? Thinking of this, Longao directly asked, Nangong Yin, I want to know who you are. This was the key. Nangong Yin smiled and said, It doesn't matter who I am. If you want to know who I am, you must first be qualified to know. However, you obviously don't have the qualifications now. But I will wait for you. Longao naturally wouldn't continue to ask because he knew that even if he continued to ask, Nangong Yin wouldn't tell him. There was no need to waste time. Wait until I know who you are, then we'll talk about other people. Longao's meaning was very clear. As long as Nangong Yin wasn't a fool, he would definitely understand. Sure enough, after Longao finished speaking, Nangong Yin didn't say anything else. He turned around and left quickly. Looking at the disappearing figure, Longao's expression became very ugly. Nangong-in was too mysterious. Moreover, he knew about his Chaos Act. From this, it could be seen that Nangong-in knew him very well. On the other hand, he didn't know anything about Nangong-in. He was already at a disadvantage. I definitely won't disappoint you. If it was before, Longao wouldn't have the slightest confidence. But now, the situation was completely different. The attributeless Chaos Tablet had completely activated because it had devoured Qin Shuang's essence, blood, and primordial spirit. In other words, from now on, he could truly begin to refine the Chaos Tablet. Although he couldn't be sure of the time, Longao was confident. When he truly refined the Chaos Tablet and became the ruler of the universe, so what if he had to face the unknown Nangong-in? Thinking of this, Longao didn't continue to think about it. Nangong-in was a matter for the future. Right now, the most important thing was to think of a way to save Qin Shuang. He also believed that if Qin Shuang was truly a reincarnation, then perhaps there really was a special Chaos Tablet. However, to find one that could only be devoured by Qin Shuang was like looking for a needle in the ocean. It was almost impossible. Within the Chaos Palace, every day Longao would enter the Chaos Palace to investigate. He wanted to see if Qin Shuang was alright. At this moment, Qin Shuang's eyes were tightly closed. There was no aura at all. Even the aura of her primordial spirit couldn't be felt. If not for the fact that her body hadn't yet stiffened, she really would be no different from a dead person. This was Longao. If it were anyone else, they would have chosen to give up long ago. Seeing Qin Shuang lying quietly on the jade bed, Longao felt very guilty. This was because if it weren't for his attributeless Chaos Tablet devouring essence, blood, and primordial spirit, Qin Shuang wouldn't have become a living corpse. Shuang, don't worry. I will definitely save you. Longao clenched his fists. In his heart, he constantly told himself that no matter what price he had to pay, he had to save Qin Shuang. Nangong-in had already left the immortal ceiling forbidden ground. However, Longao didn't leave. After successfully leaving the natural maze, he prepared to see what secrets the immortal ceiling forbidden ground held. If his luck was good, he might really find a way to save Qin Shuang. The entire immortal ceiling forbidden ground was extremely huge. Even with Longao's speed, he had already walked for dozens of days. However, he still hadn't reached the end. Other than the natural maze at the beginning, there didn't seem to be any danger in the immortal ceiling forbidden ground. Longao didn't know why the immortal ceiling forbidden ground was one of the top forbidden grounds in the immortal world. The immortal ceiling forbidden ground was definitely not as simple as he thought. Because of this, even if he didn't meet any danger, Longao didn't relax at all. Unknowingly, Longao had already returned to the natural maze. Chapter 28:14. What's going on? Longao didn't know why he had to return to the natural labyrinth. Returning to his previous position, Longao didn't continue to leave. He just stood there quietly. The 9-colored primordial spirit came out and covered the entire natural labyrinth. I see. After Longao's primordial spirit covered the natural labyrinth, he suddenly realized that the natural labyrinth was actually related to him. If he hadn't experienced it personally, it would have been hard to believe. The natural labyrinth and his primordial spirit aura were almost exactly the same. It was too unbelievable. Is this real? The primordial spirit released by Longao had just covered the natural labyrinth, and even merged with it when it suddenly disappeared. It disappeared into thin air. It didn't enter the Chaos Hall. In the next second, Longao's figure had already appeared in a cave. The entire cave was not too big, but it was very neat and tidy, giving people a very comfortable feeling. Where is this place? Looking at the cave that suddenly appeared, Longao felt a deep sense of familiarity. It was as if he had returned to his own home. Have I been here before? That shouldn't be possible. With a boom, Longao felt as if his mind had been hit by something. Before he could even react, small golden words had already appeared in his mind. 5 golden words appeared at the end of his mind. Seeing the 5 golden words in his mind, Longao was completely shocked. This was because he never thought that he would get something that he had already gotten before by entering the cave. The 5 golden words were the 9 revolution chaos formula that Longao had obtained before. This was a heaven-defying cultivation method that even Longmia couldn't cultivate. I see. Longao finally knew that the 9 revolution chaos formula that he had obtained before was incomplete. It could be said that it was an incomplete cultivation method. But now, the 9 revolution chaos formula that he had obtained was completely different. At this moment, the 9 revolution chaos formula that he had obtained was the real 9 revolution chaos formula. The incomplete cultivation method that he had obtained before couldn't be compared at all. It was still the 6th revolution. After obtaining the complete 9 revolution primal chaos mantra, Longao finally understood that if he wanted to break through to the next 3 revolutions, he would have to refine the attributeless primal chaos stone tablet in his body, or even control the power of primal chaos. What kind of concept was that? In other words, if he wanted to break through the 7th revolution of the 9 revolution primal chaos mantra, he would have to refine the primal chaos stone tablet and grasp the power of primal chaos. It was easy to say, but it was extremely difficult to do. If it was in the past, wanting to refine the attributeless chaos stone tablet was practically an impossible matter. However, the situation was different now. Because he had swallowed Qin Shuang's essence blood and primordial spirit, his elemental primordial tablet had already been activated. From now on, he could truly begin to refine the primordial tablet. It was only a matter of time. Other than being a cultivation technique, the 9 revolution chaos formula also contained alchemy techniques, array techniques, talisman techniques, and so on. He was very curious. Longao knew that in the vast universe, alchemy, array techniques and talisman techniques weren't too important. Strength was the most important. However, in the starry sky of the immortal world, unimportant alchemy, formations, talisman techniques and so on were particularly important. Sometimes, powerful alchemy, formations and talisman techniques even exceeded one's own strength. It could be said that, in the immortal universe, when cultivators of the same level battled, or even challenged those of a higher level, one's own strength was only a part of it. Alchemy, array techniques, etc. were the key to victory. Today, Longao was almost certain that whether it was the vast universe he was in before or the immortal universe he was in now, they were just 2 out of many universes. There were countless universes. He had forcefully stepped into the space crack. Why didn't he appear in other universes? Why did he have to appear in this immortal universe? In the immortal universe, not only did he meet Qin Shuang, who could activate his primal chaos stone tablet, he even came to this mysterious cave and obtained the 9 revolution chaos mantra. He even had heaven-defying alchemy techniques, array techniques, talisman techniques, etc. All of this proved that he had a lot to do with the starry sky of the immortal world. As for what kind of relationship, he still couldn't explain it clearly. After successfully obtaining the primal chaos stone tablet, Longao prepared to return to his own universe. As for Qin Shuang's injuries, he had a feeling that even if her primordial spirit disappeared, she wouldn't really die. If it was outside, it was unknown whether Qin Shuang would die. However, in his primal chaos palace, he had full confidence that Qin Shuang wouldn't die. If that was the case, why should he continue to stay in the immortal universe? No matter how many secrets there were in the immortal universe, They were no longer useful to him, at least not now. The most important thing now was to think of a way to return to his own universe. Time was of the essence. Who knew if the cave mansion in the soaring dragon plane would be broken? If the divine mathematician and the others broke the seal of the cave mansion, then things would be very troublesome. In the entire soaring dragon empire, no one could withstand the joint attack of the divine mathematician and the others. The more he thought about it, the more anxious Longao became. He couldn't wait to return to his own universe. After leaving the immortal sealing Forbidden Land, Longao began to think of a way. However, no matter how much he thought about it, he couldn't come up with a foolproof plan. As for what he thought of before, it was to break open the crack in the starry sky and return to the vast universe. But would that work? Absolutely not, because once he entered the crack in the starry sky, no one knew what would happen. Whether he could return to the vast universe was really an unknown. This was Longao. If it was someone else, not to mention whether they could open the crack in the starry sky, no one, including the starry sky ruler who had mastered the power of primal chaos, would dare to casually step into the crack in the starry sky. Longao didn't have to worry about being killed by the crack in the starry sky. After all, his 9-colored primordial spirit was an immortal primordial spirit. What worried him was that once he stepped into the crack in the starry sky, who knew which vast universe he would enter? If he entered another universe, then he would be forced to die. He had to think of other ways to return to the vast universe that belonged to him. In desperation, Longao decided to find Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei to see if the two of them had any other ideas. After all, the two of them were starry sky rulers. If they didn't know, then no one in the entire immortal world would know. He hoped that the two of them knew how to leave the immortal world. P.S. Longao is about to refine the attribute-less primal chaos stone tablet and become a starry sky ruler. This book can be considered to have reached its final stage. From the beginning of the Tianwu continent to the vast starry sky, it will enter the final realm, which is the peak realm of the countless vast starry sky, the primal chaos realm. This is also the most exciting realm. At that time, the pits dug will appear one by one in the primal chaos realm. There is also the true identity of Longao, Qin Shuang, Nangong Yin, Divine Mathematician, Cloud Emperor and others. Chapter 28:15. Compared to the immortal world's starry sky, there seemed to be too little information in the starry sky. For example, the Chaos Divine Artifact. In the vast starry sky, apart from Emperor Yun and the others, almost no one knew about it, including Master Godly Mathematician. However, the immortal world's starry sky was different. Even a random immortal emperor would know about the existence of the Chaos Divine Artifact. The difference was too great. As for what was going on, Longao still didn't know. When they parted, they had specially left a way to contact each other. So, Longao quickly contacted the two. Immortal Cloud Valley. Brother Long, how is Qin Shuang's injury? Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei sincerely treated Longao as a friend. If it was another starry sky ruler, how could they become friends with an immortal emperor? It was simply impossible. He shook his head. Speaking of Qin Shuang, Longao felt a deep sense of helplessness. If it weren't for his Chaos Stone Tablet, Qin Shuang wouldn't have become like this. She was like a living dead. There's still no way, but Shuang should be fine in my spatial Chaos Divine Artifact. Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei didn't continue asking. After all, even they couldn't do anything about it. May I know why Brother Long is looking for us this time? Both of you, I've already said that I came from another starry sky, so I want to go back. There's something I can't give up there. So that's why. Luo Xian's expression was very serious. She said, "It shouldn't be possible. Although I don't know how you did it, It's almost impossible for you to return to the starry sky. As expected, Longao wasn't surprised at all. He seemed to have guessed that the two didn't know how to go back. However, Longao had already decided that in the end, if there was still no way to return to the starry sky, then there was only one way. That was to break through the starry sky, step into the starry sky crack, and use it to return to the starry sky. Brother Long, there seems to be a lot of things you don't know. Please tell us. Brother Ling Qingfei did not try to hide anything. He said, Brother Lin, according to what you said before, the vast space you are in should have been sealed off by a powerful clan. As a result, no one knows about the Chaos World apart from a very few people. Chaos Realm? What is this place? Other than the Yun family of the Pinnacle Mysterious Clan, no one else knows about it. So that was the case. Ling Qingfei continued, there are countless vast starry skies. These so-called vast starry skies are divided into 3 levels, which are the elementary starry skies, the intermediate starry skies, and the advanced starry skies. The starry skies of the immortal world we are in are the advanced starry skies. High-level starry sky? Then what level of starry sky did the vast starry sky he was in belong to? Longao knew very well that if he didn't know, Luo Xian and Ling Qingfei wouldn't know either. No one knows how many vast starry skies there are on the same level. However, there is an ultimate plane, which is the Chaos Realm, which is above all the vast starry skies. So that was the case. The concept of countless starry skies was the same as the concept of countless planes in a vast starry sky. It seemed that the primal Chaos Realm was the pinnacle of existence, regardless of whether it was the countless planes or the countless starry skies. Every vast galaxy has several chaos passageways that lead to the primal Chaos Realm, and the only way to enter the primal Chaos Realm is to enter the Chaos Passageway. Everyone can enter the Chaos Passageway? After hearing Ling Qingfei's words, Longao was almost certain that the vast starry sky he was in, whether it was the primal chaos spring of the Tianwu continent or the one Xiantong had brought him to, was the so-called Chaos Passageway. As for who could enter, at the very least, even a ruler of the starry skies like the godly mathematician couldn't enter the Chaos Passageway. Whether or not Emperor Yun would be able to enter was still unknown. As if he could guess Longao's thoughts, Ling Qingfei said, to enter the Chaos Passageway to the primal Chaos Realm, one must first devour the Chaos Tablet, and then master the Chaos energy within the tablet. Otherwise, if others enter the Chaos Passageway with the help of secret techniques, they will undoubtedly die. Longao nodded in agreement. Back then, he had also gone to the primal Chaos Spring, but he had been unable to enter. From this, it could be seen that Emperor Yun could enter the Chaos Passageway to the primal Chaos Realm, but why did he not leave the vast starry sky? There seemed to be something fishy. Brother Long, as for the Emperor Yun you speak of, he should be a powerful family in the primal Chaos Realm who purposely sealed off your vast starry sky. I can almost say that even if someone masters the chaos energy in your vast starry sky, they won't be able to enter the Chaos Passageway. They might even be obliterated by Emperor Yun. Brother Ling, is there anyone in the celestial realm who has mastered the chaos energy? There is, but they have all entered the Chaos Passageway to the primal Chaos Realm. It has been almost 1,000 years, and there is no one left in the celestial realm who can master the chaos energy. Longao was very curious, but he couldn't figure it out. If that's the case, then even if you master the chaos energy, you can still go to the primal Chaos Realm without entering the Chaos Passageway. Ling Qingfei shook his head and said with a smile, Brother Long, your thinking is too simple. As far as I know, once you master the chaos energy within the Chaos Tablet, you will be automatically summoned by the primal Chaos Realm. Before long, even if you don't want to go to the primal Chaos Realm, you will automatically enter the Chaos Passageway. Not only that, but anyone who enters the chaos passageway to the primal chaos realm will not be able to return to the vast starry sky unless they are extremely powerful. Why can Cloud Emperor stay in the vast starry sky? It should be a chaos divine tool given to him by a super clan in the primal chaos realm. Otherwise, since Cloud Emperor has mastered the chaos energy, he can't continue to stay in the vast starry sky. Longao didn't know much about the Chaos Divine tool, but Ling Qingfei quickly explained, according to the rumors, the Chaos Codex has many auxiliary functions. Among them, alchemists, weapon refiners, array masters, and talisman masters are the most powerful. In fact, it is similar to our celestial realm. The only difference is that pills are useless for breaking through to the next level, but they are very useful for other purposes. Luo Xian, who had been silent all this time, suddenly said, "The Chaos Codex is different from other starry skies. It is too difficult to become an alchemist, array master, or weapon refiner in the primal chaos realm." Longao wasn't very worried about this, because he had already comprehended the alchemy and array techniques from the 9 Revolution Chaos Codex. As long as he could enter the primal chaos realm, he would be able to learn some of them. Chapter 28:16. Brother Long, under normal circumstances, people from the Chaos Realm will not come to the vast starry sky, unless there is something special. How could Long Ao not understand the meaning behind Ling Qingfei's words? If there was no special reason, why would the Yun family stay in the vast starry sky? After all, with their strength, there was no point in staying in the vast starry sky. What was the reason? He couldn't figure it out. You too, I will think of a way to return to the vast starry sky. If we meet again in the future, it will probably be in the Chaos Realm. The two nodded. Luo Xian said helplessly, "Controlling the power of chaos is easier said than done, let alone going to the Chaos Realm. Brother Long, to tell you the truth, Luo Xian and I both want to go to the Chaos Realm, because there, we can go further." How could Long Ao not know what they meant? Luo Xian and I have decided that from now on, we will go into seclusion to refine the Chaos Stone Tablet. If we don't refine it, we will never come out. Saying this, Luo Xian took out 2 Chaos Stone Tablets and said, "The Chaos Stone Tablets are no longer of any use to us, so we are giving them to you. I hope they will be useful to you." Long Ao didn't stand on ceremony, and took the 2 Chaos Stone Tablet. "I will wait for you in the Chaos Realm." "Ha ha, good. Let's see who can enter the Chaos Realm first." After leaving, Long Ao didn't know what to do. It seemed that he could only choose to enter the space crack, but when he could return to the vast starry sky was still unknown. After thinking about it, in the end, Long Ao didn't take the risk. He returned to the immortal ceiling Forbidden Land and began to cultivate in seclusion, hoping to refine the Chaos Stone Tablet as soon as possible. That way, he would become the ruler of the starry sky and have a greater chance of returning to the vast starry sky. Inside the cave, Long Ao's power enveloped the floating Chaos Stone Tablet in front of him, and he put all his effort into refining it. He knew very well that if he wanted to return to the vast starry sky, he had to refine the Chaos Stone Tablet as soon as possible. Otherwise, if he forced his way into the space crack, who knew what would happen? If this were in the past, it would have been nearly impossible to refine the Chaos Tablet. Forget about 1 or 2 years, it would have been impossible even if it took 1,000,000,000 years. But now, the situation was completely different. The elemental primal Chaos Stone Tablet had swallowed Qin Shuang's essence blood and primordial spirit. After opening the primal Chaos Stone Tablet, he could begin to truly refine it. As for how long it would take, Long Ao had no idea. In the vast starry skies, ever since Long Ao had been sucked into the starry sky crack, the entire vast starry sky had become calm. The godly mathematician and the others did not continue to attack the soaring dragon realm. The reason was simple. The only person they truly cared about was Longao. As for the life and death of the people from the soaring dragon empire, they did not care at all. Soaring dragon realm. As soon as Emperor Yun and Yun Lu's group of 5 arrived, Master God Diviner and the others already knew. Father, what does Emperor Yun want to do? Yidugu was very curious. Could it be that the Cloud Emperor and the others wanted to attack the soaring dragon empire? It seemed a little ridiculous. Now that Longao was dead, even if he broke into the cave and killed everyone, what could he do? Everything on Longao's body had already entered the space fissure. Perhaps even Cloud Emperor would not dare to step into the space fissure. What did Emperor Yun mean? Master God Diviner also seemed to be very curious. After thinking for a while, he said, "It seems like Emperor Yun wants to control Longao's family first. If Longao is really not dead, then we will be in a passive position." Longao is not dead? It was simply a joke. In Yidugu's opinion, although Longao could break through the starry skies, if he entered the space fissure, he would definitely die. How could he not be dead? Emperor Yun was simply making an unnecessary move. Dugu, I know what you are thinking. If it was anyone else, I can almost guarantee that they will definitely die if they enter the space fissure. Only this Longao, I have no confidence in him at all. Hearing his father's words, Yidugu was very surprised. Could it be that Longao was really not dead? Father, if Longao is really not dead, and Emperor Yun controls Longao's family, then we will really be in a passive position. If that was the case, wouldn't everything be given to Emperor Yun? How could they be willing to accept that? If it was someone else, then it would be fine, but Longao's treasures were too tempting. Just the 2 Chaos Divine artifacts and the Space Fissure. If they could get their hands on them, then it would be like adding wings to a tiger. It would be a lie to say that they did not want to get it. Yidugu even decided that as long as he could get everything Longao had, he would not hesitate to completely fall out with Emperor Yun and the others. As if he could guess Yidugu's thoughts, Master God Diviner said, "We must not let Emperor Yun have everything." Master God Diviner, of course, did not dare to go against Emperor Yun alone. Before going, he had united all the Starry Sky Sovereigns in order to seize Longao's treasures. No one refused. At this moment, all the Starry Sky Sovereigns had gathered in the soaring dragon realm. Except for Bai Jing of the number 1 Starry Sky Empire, the remaining 8 half-step Starry Sky Sovereigns were all worried because they knew very well that Longao's strength was now far beyond theirs. If they continued to oppose him, only death would await them. If Longao really did not die and came for revenge, how could the 8 of them resist him? The 8 of them gathered together to discuss what to do. Only Bai Jing did not participate, but under such circumstances, the 8 of them could not care less about Bai Jing. After discussing repeatedly, they immediately decided to hide and go as far as they could. At that time, even if Longao's strength was heaven-defying, it would be impossible for him to find the 8 of them. The 8 half-step Starry Sky Sovereigns were very confident about this. In fact, the 8 of them thought too much. Since the cave mansion was sealed, Longao had not taken them seriously. After all, they stood at different heights. Longao would not condescend to deal with the 8 of them, unless the 8 half-step Starry Sky Sovereigns took the initiative to provoke him. However, under such circumstances, the 8 of them could not wait to hide. How could they take the initiative to provoke him? Now, Longao's only enemies were Master God Diviner and the others, including the Peak Mysterious clan represented by Emperor Yun, which was the incomparably mysterious and powerful Yun family. Others might not know, but how could Longao not know that Yun family was not so simple? According to Ling Qingfei, Yun family's backer was very terrifying. It might even be a superpower of the Chaos Realm. Otherwise, Emperor Yun and Yun Lu, who had mastered the power of chaos, would not have been forcibly sucked into the chaos passage to the chaos realm. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.